Yo, what's up, Raider Nation? I'm Hardcore Raider. This is the Hardcore Raider Nation podcast. Not because my name's Hardcore Raider, but because this is for the diehard Hardcore Raider fans that want to join in, dude. We're going to chop it up talking Raiders. We're going to get into talking about the combine that just happened and future prospects for the Raiders. And it's been a minute, man. But guess what, man? We're bigger. We're grimier. We're more wattsier, wolfier, and we're more silver with Darian here, man, from Silver and Black Podcast, dude. It's a pleasure to have you guys on, man. It's been a minute. I'm excited, dude. Glad to have you guys on. How you guys doing today, man?
Good to go.
Cool, man.
Doing great, man. I'm doing awesome.
Feeling great, man. It's gonna be one hell of an off season, dude. Plenty to be excited for, man.
Yeah. Yes, absolutely.
How's your guys' off season been going, man? There's been a lot of news notes and all that jazz, but you guys been having fun, or how's your off season been?
Man, as far as me, my off season's been, man, I'm ready. Let me just say something, though. This will probably be one of the greatest off seasons of all time. This is a whole new era. So, you're moving a new brand, or you're moving a respected, well-known historical brand into a major city. It's a big deal, man. This is a whole new aspect. NFL football is in Las Vegas, man, and we saw how they embraced hockey with the Knights' first year there. So I'm excited, man. But as far as me, I feel great, ready to rock, baby.
Hell yeah, man.
I'm excited for the draft and free agency. I'm just knowing the attraction that is going to bring, knowing that we are in Vegas now. Them names, I'm just waiting to see where them names drop at. Hopefully Mayock and Gruden can get the job done, but I'm excited, man. I'm ready for the draft and free agency and see what happens from there, man.
Definitely, man. I just been chilling low key, man. I pretty much in the off season, I pretty much just study the college players. I mean, it's rumors going around, but I don't like to feed into that too much. Just really been working, man. Just dealing with life. I just recently moved. So you know how that transition goes, moving and just kind of getting myself set up. But trying to get to Vegas, man. I'm saving up right now so I could just grab my tickets, and I'm trying to be out there. I got to take off work to do it, but
yeah,
as long as I put it in 2 weeks in advance, I'll be able to do it. So that's pretty much my next step. I'm trying to get out there, and that's like he just said, man. This is probably the greatest off season ever for the Raiders. Got a lot at stake, and we gotta kill it. We gotta kill it, man. We gotta kill it. We gotta kill free agency too to make the draft easier as well.
Hell yeah.
I mean, I just getting over a cold, so I'm blessed for what's going around now these days. So. Thank God, man. I'm blessed.
Looks like you're rocking the Raider mobile over there, huh? The Night Raider?
Yeah, I'm in the car. I'm actually on the campus right here, man. I'm using a Wi-Fi.
Nice.
So,
Man. Well, I know you just moved and you're still in transition, but man, hope your move went good. And thanks for joining us, Watts, as always. And really appreciate that, man. And Big Tuna, man, how's your off-season been going, brother? Glad to have you back.
Same as always, just studying. That's all it is. I guess I'm on the other side of free agency. I hope the Raiders don't make too many moves so that they can just focus on the draft, because you know how it is with the Raiders with those free agents. Some of them we hit a home run, and we could sign a Javon Walker,
LaMarcus Joyner.
Yeah. Oh man.
Yeah, I'm working on a video right now for my channel on LaMarcus Joyner that it's just got to be done. It's unfortunate, but it's just But other than that, been studying college, watching the combine, trying not to feed into the car stuff, but I always do. I got to do it. I'm unemployed right now, so every time something comes out, I do a video right away.
Yep.
So hopefully I get a job soon, so I'm not doing YouTube all the time.
Right on, man. I'll keep you in my prayers, brother, man. Hopefully something comes up, and I know you got some mad talents, dude, that could be definitely utilized.
I'm not worried about Carr, man. I'm not worried about Carr, man.
I'm not worried
about be a quarterback this year. He's going to be a quarterback this season.
I'm more worried about the Raiders spending a lot of money on someone that in free agency. The one thing people have to realize that they're free agents for a reason.
Right.
If the team
Right.
wanted them, they would keep them. And that's
Right.
and free agency is always fun, but like you think about it, we did good with Trent Brown, and and we did good with I would say we did all right with Incognito, but then you go back to Joyner, and there's the one that I thought he was going to be the best, and I barely saw him on the field.
Right.
You know?
Right. Exactly.
It's hit or miss,
Exactly.
and we have a lot of money. That's what scares me is they have a lot of money to give, and they can get more by releasing a couple
Just
players.
burning a hole in your pocket.
Yeah,
You know.
So, hopefully it's a good off season. I'm excited for it too, but I'm also a little nervous.
But that's the key with LaMarcus Joyner, man. Is he was the free agent that was supposed to fit the scheme, man.
Yeah.
The nickel. Supposed to be that nickel corner in Paul Gunther's defense, and it was a disaster, man. It was a disaster. I can't say that if they get help at linebacker, if that gets better, but yeah, that is a disappointment, man.
Oh, I mean,
we'll get into
we'll get into the linebackers. We'll definitely get into that.
Yeah, because
I see your face, man. I see your face.
Yeah, cool, man.
Let's hold up a minute. I want to make sure everybody knows, man, that most of the people.
I had a spot there.
Most of the people that join us are Raider content creators, but if anybody that isn't a Raider content creator wants to join us, man, you guys can hit me up, dude. I'll put my email in there. It's raider.hardcore@gmail.com. You guys can hit me up. So for those that might want to join. So one of the things I want to make sure is like you guys, man. That's why I have these banners up, but check out Raider Dave, dude. He's doing his own thing on YouTube, and he's dropping some good videos, man, especially around the draft, talent breakdowns. Check him out, sub to him. Big Tuna, same thing, man. He's doing some talent breakdowns and stuff. He used to work for Pro Football Focus, dude. He's got the skills, dude, for doing talent breakdown, especially when it comes to draft and up and coming players and stuff. So you guys make sure you sub to Big Tuna, dude. I love what he's bringing. We got Watts Raider. He's in the transition right now, and he's not doing the news and rumors section, but he's hanging out with us. And
I never do. I never do, man.
I know. But I'm just saying that you may not find him.
I'm more of a calculated person.
Yeah,
man.
I'm not taking a shot. I'm saying I love you, brother, and I appreciate you for coming here. And so
like Mikey, my boy Mikey be going off. Boy,
hey, let's leave it alone. Leave it alone. Hey, Mikey's the OG, man. We'll just say that. So, and then we got Darian Raider, man. He's new to the show, but he's got his own thing going on YouTube, man. And I've been checking you out for a minute, dude. I really like what you're bringing, and a new flavor, new twist, and keep it like it rolls smooth, man, dude. Like all you guys, but like definitely the stuff you're bringing rolls real smooth. So I like what you're bringing, man. We're gonna kind of break down some of your fandom here in a minute. But let's get the chat involved here a little bit. Let me turn off this banner. And so I just want to say what's up. We got some fools in here, dude. We got Town Business, man. What's up? We got Fierce Raider 88, man. What's up, man? John Q, what's up? Hold on, guys. My son's right here. Hold on a second, buddy. Got my kids here. And then we got Cabasky, what's up? Raider Rich, what's up, brother? I seen Pete in here. Pete, what's up, man? Pete's a dedicated listener to Pillaging Podcast, calls in with some hot takes and stuff. And so Pete's one of the guys that we've had on our list that we're wanting to bring in here because Pete is just drops some fire takes. And, I just love kind of what he brings to the table. But with that being said, I want to get into like we always do. J-Dog, what's up, brother? Like we always do. Darian, man, dude, tell us a little bit about your fandom, how long you've been a Raiders fan, like how you became a Raiders fan, what it means to be a Raiders fan to you, man. And thanks for coming on, by the way.
What it means to be a Raiders fan to me is that I bleed the silver and black. I bleed it. I bleed it. I played football as a kid. Everything was Raiders. I never played for a different team that had a different name. It was always this symbol. And it was always here in my heart. And I lived in California for a few years as a young kid with my uncle, big Raiders fans. When he passed, and then I came back to Philadelphia, and I still remain a Raiders fan. It didn't change the fact because I moved locations still remain a Raiders fan. Been a Raiders fan since '98. I'm 34 years old, and I just love what I do. I just love what I do. Finally wanted to get a podcast just for the Raiders, and I'm so passionate about the team. And anybody can tell you out there, I argue people down about my Raiders, no matter if they're 0-16 or they're 13-3. I'm going to argue you down about my Raiders. You can't say nothing to me about my Raiders. You can't disrespect my Raiders around me. I'm just a big debate person when it comes to my Raiders. So I'm a very passionate person, and I'm happy to be a part of this show and talk Raiders, because I was doing it all by myself, and I do have a partner, but my partner, he's at work. But other than that, most of the time I was doing it by myself. So I'm happy to be on here.
Hell yeah!
Already. Hey man,
dude,
98. That was a good year right there. 98.
Heck yeah.
Baby.
Heck yeah.
What inspired you to do your own podcast, and then like how long you been doing it and stuff, man?
Well, on my other podcast for Spotlight Sports Talk, I've been doing that since 2017.
Okay.
This one, I just started Silver and Black podcast last year, but I was not consistent with it. And I told myself that I need to separate the two, because just for niche purposes, because my other channel does like all NBA, NFL, MLB, all that stuff. I didn't want to do Sixers, and then you see Raiders, and it was just too much. So I was like, let me just split the two. And what decided is that me and my older brother always debated sports around family, and it was like, you have the knowledge and you actually look up stats and you actually do the analytics of things, and it was like, you should start a podcast. And I started out doing just DraftKings fantasy draft, like fantasy stuff, and then I transitioned into live play-by-play and reactions, and just some analytical and sometimes some rumor stuff, depending on what the rumor is. I don't follow all the rumors, but if I see something that's really intriguing that might happen, then I would do it. But yeah, it just comes from a family standpoint. When me and him go back and forth, we always talking, and I decided to just to start it and invest in myself in it.
Yeah, man, that's legit, dude. Like, I'm loving it. What's it like being a Raider fan out there in Philly, man?
It's terrible.
Repping hard out there.
But I was here a couple years ago when the draft was in Philadelphia, and I was Raiders from head to toe. And I didn't know it was a lot of Raiders fans in Philadelphia, surprisingly. When our pick came up, it was a lot of Raiders fans in one section of the outside. And I was over there with the Raider Nation. I was a little drunk too, but it was still fun to be out there with the Raiders, with the Raider Nation in Philly. But it's more Eagles fans than anything, y'all know. But they were like, "Oh, you're a Raiders fan. You shouldn't live in Philadelphia." Da, da, da. It's Raider Nation, regardless.
I don't have no problem with the Eagles, man. I really don't have no problem with the Eagles fans, because they down for their team like we down for our team.
Which is true, but they're different when you're in person.
I know. In person. They don't take no shit. They don't take no shit like we don't take no shit.
What was it? Las Vegas 2018. I watched the Super Bowl in Vegas when the Eagles won. They beat the Patriots that game. I was wearing my Derek Carr jersey. Table full of Patriots fans when Brandon Cooks got lit up on that first play. Oh man, I was loud. Eagle fans high five. But they're all looking around like, why the heck? You're wearing a Raider jersey? I'm like, yo, dude, I'm all in. Philadelphia Eagles in that Super Bowl. I was all in. And that was a blast, but it was good, man. I felt the hardcore.
Tom Brady dropped the ball.
Yes, but also, man. But shout out to Raider Nation on the East Coast, worldwide, man. That's what's up. That's what's up, brother.
We actually have a whole Philadelphia chapter just for the Raider Nation. We have a whole Philadelphia chapter for it.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, baby.
Hey. That's legit, man. We appreciate you repping out there, and I'm kind of with Watts. I respect Philly fans. Like, there's very few fan bases I respect, but just because how diehard they are. But I'm not in market. You know what I'm saying? And I bet you Philly fans are just pissed off because we whooped their ass in the Super Bowl. So if they ever say anything,
they still can't get over it. They were like, "Oh, the last couple times we beat the Raiders. So what? We got a championship over y'all. Oh well."
I used to live in Cali. I live in Donkeyville now, man, in Colorado. Colorado. I don't live in Denver. I'm like an hour south, but I argue that Bronco fans are the worst, but that's a real rivalry. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
To me, it's more than the Niners, but that's my personal opinion. I also don't live in the Bay, and whatnot, and I didn't when I lived in California. But the only ones that I could say could compete would be like those that live in Kansas City. Because when you're dealing with real rivals like that, man, it's like I've said before, when I'm on shows and stuff, is I go to family events. And
what I can say is this: I'm kind of surprised that there is a lot of Chargers fans in Philadelphia as well that I'm arguing with.
Damn!
I actually had some people that I used to work with that are Chargers fans, and every time we played them, it was just we'll argue at work. Like we about to get fired the way we argue with Chargers fans. It's a few Chargers fans out here, I could say.
I don't think I've ever met a Chargers fan.
Dude, they disappeared out here in Southern California.
Yeah, they moved out to Philly, I guess, huh?
They must have moved out to Philly.
The Chargers got more fans in Philly than they do.
I said, you like that old fart Rivers, whatever.
Right, yeah. That's funny.
Right. He basically gave the game away to us. Both of them games.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
I mean, we could have had 5 or 6 interceptions instead of the 3, or I can't remember.
Yeah,
5 sacks in the first game too, man. Max Crosby lit them up, dude, in that game, man.
Yeah,
right.
That's tight.
And then they trade away their best offensive lineman to the Panthers.
That was question. Yeah. Yep.
Typical Chargers moves.
Better for the Raiders, though.
Yep.
Can we get a couple of their receivers on our team? Can we get another one of their receivers on our team?
Yeah.
Keenan Allen, man, he'd be a Raider in a heartbeat. He'd embrace that in a heartbeat.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind having Allen though. We'll have to pay him.
He's
I wouldn't mind having Allen.
Might happen.
This year?
Yeah.
Keenan Allen? No.
Oh.
Yeah, I think so. I'll check it out, but I think
restricted. Is it restricted though?
I think it's Hunter Henry. I think the tight end is the free agent.
Yeah, but I heard Hunter Henry was getting tagged too. So
no, there's another.
If you're restricted,
it's not Keenan Allen.
They just did Taysom Hill.
They have another wide receiver that's a free agent. That's a pretty good wide receiver. I can't remember his name, but
I know Melvin Gordon's for sure is an unrestricted free agent. He's walking this offseason for sure.
Right on. Hey, so we entered the 2020 season. The last show we did, I know Raider. I don't think Raider Dave was on there. I know Big Tuna wasn't, but I always like to, I try not to make New Year's resolutions, but I always try to look inwardly, onwardly, what our goals are, what we've been able to accomplish in the past, just kind of like something to retrospect, and just kind of thinking about this channel, what inspired it, who was part of it, and everything we were able to accomplish, and just something just to be grateful for, and then also get your guys' opinions. So first of all, I want to break down just real quick, because there was a lot of accomplishments. I think that a lot of us dropped out. A lot of us was able to be part of last year. I know Darian, you're new, but you're still got a voice in this and whatnot. But my vision for doing this show and bringing all these Raider content creators was for several reasons. I know I don't want to call out people because I don't like doing that, but I know there's an OG Raider content creator that I guess used to do something similar to this, and I had no idea. I had this idea a couple years ago. I didn't even check out the OG YouTuber until I don't know, a year and a half, 2 years ago now or whatever. So but the idea wasn't taken from anybody else. The idea of what inspired me and all of us to do this, but me branching out to other people, is essentially it kind of started with some of the Mac, the Cooper stuff, and a lot of diversity in Raider Nation and people battling each other, fighting each other, kind of like what we see going on right now with Derek Carr and stuff. And actually Murph was from Raiders Fan Radio, was a big part of what inspired me to have the desire to do something like this, and that was to let me bring Watts back in here. But Murph would interview other Raider content creators at times during the off season, and it would be somebody like I never heard of, or something like that. And I'd go check them out and be like, oh, like they have some good content and stuff, or or maybe I'd hear a different take of something I didn't think of, or if I was, I'm an extremely opinionated person, so if it was something that I was very strong-minded on and someone had like some facts or some good points to point out, I might soften some blows a little bit. And so with that being said, I really thought that, we could figure out a way to bring unity to the Raider Nation, bring all these people that have great Raider minds, together and just, sit here and chop it up and prove that we can put aside our differences to come together for the right cause, and bring that Raider Nation together, because we're not trying to steal like YouTubers or views and other people's listeners and stuff, dude. We're not getting paid for this. Our goal is because we love the Raiders and we're inspired to bring everybody together. And that goes for anybody that joins the show. And we may not all get along, and I don't agree with everybody, like I try not to call out people at times, but sometimes I can't resist because I'm an emotional person, but sometimes I'll save that stuff for going solo and stuff like that. But at the end of it, the point I'm trying to say is this, like what we're building here is like the kind of the platform of what I think a lot of people are going to want to do down the road. And not just for like I'm not saying like Raiders, but I'm saying like for sports in general. Like, when one of the things that inspired this was when we got into debates of who the best fan base was. And I'm like, dude, like, I know there's got to be like at least 20 plus like Raider podcasts, Raider YouTubers out there that do only Raider content. And we have more than anybody else in the NFL. I guarantee it, and I know other people do other sports and stuff, and that's fine. But I'm just saying, like, just strictly Raiders like content was that Raiders kind of held that title. And so I started doing research, and I came up with like 40 something different people that do only Raiders content between podcasts and YouTube channels. That's just absolutely insane. And what inspired Raider Nation to do this? Some of it's the OG YouTubers, the Raider YouTubers and stuff to, do this stuff. But really, to me, what really inspired this is people like me that got tired of sitting there typing all the time, fighting with guys on Raiders.com or like on the YouTube channel, and trolls like Lozier, he's a Rams fan, or Bo B Run, who's a Niners fan, and I got more lists of names where they're always in there trolling, and I got sick of it, and then fighting with Raider fans and stuff, and but people got inspired to do their own thing, dude, because of their own inspiration to desire something else, to talk about the Raiders because they love the team. It wasn't most of us that do this. It wasn't like to make money or for alternate agendas, and so for me in my vision and stuff, and I was part of, some of us were linked up through like my networking or however you want to put it, but we were on a previous platform that I'm not going to mention. But part of the reason that, and I never talked about it, but part of the reason that direction had to change was the lack of unity and the lack of leadership. And with my 10 plus years in management, like I know that if I don't piss people off and burn people at the stake, like we can build something here and we can keep bringing people on. Okay. Mm-hmm. And I'm not tooting my own horn. I'm just trying to say like the vision of what we're doing, what we're building here, and this isn't anything about trying to steal other people's viewers or other people's content or anything, dude. Like I respect everybody, even if I completely disagree with you, you know what I mean? At some point I'm going to put down my sword and be like, you know what, brother, man, at the end of the day, guess what? We're all going to be at the game. We're all going to come together. Like my goal, even though I can't go to the draft, my goal would be to have like Raider Dave, Big Tuna, Watts Raider, Pillaging Podcast and their listeners, Merce Fan Cave. We all link up, dude. We're all one force, dude. And you know what it reminds me of? It reminds me of this, guys. It reminds me of the Braveheart movie, okay? The Braveheart movie where he defies the odds, That's what Raider Nation is. We always defy the odds. He goes into battle, man. He starts like a riot. And then he goes into the next town when nobody thought he could win that war. Then goes into like what was it, Yorkshire, one of them. And I know some of the movies fictitious or whatnot, supposedly, but he keeps going on and conquering and conquering. And then he goes to the king. He's like, let's unite the clans. And of course, the king backstabs him and shit, you know, like a lot of Raider Nation is doing to each other. But at the end of the day, the point is, man, is that's what this is about, man, is like uniting together, coming together, dude. No matter if anybody has another platform, a podcast or whatever, dude, that is cool, man. Like you guys be you. And if people don't want to join us, dude, we're cool with that too. But what we're doing is bigger than ourselves. What we're doing is bringing everybody together, and we're not trying to one up anybody, dude. We're doing this for the love of the game, the passion that we have for the Raiders, and that we want to be in person and we want to link up with you, man. Like, that's it. And we want to talk Raiders, you know? So with that being said, we had a lot of awesome things that did happen in 2019 and great guests that we were blessed with. And we're going to be blessed with some additional guests, some returning, some new, as we roll into this 2020 season. And so I just want to give proper respect to everybody that joined us and was part of that unity, man, and how much I appreciate that. The first stepping stones was Raider Critique, Raider Dave, Watts Raider, and Big Tuna. And so that was the foundation of what we built here. And this is, even though it's my channel, this is a unity, dude. And I just want to let you guys know how much I appreciate that. And you guys, I know sometimes we've had to rotate people, and we will in the future, where we have to juggle some people to make it all work out. But I just want to let you guys know, like, everybody, how much I appreciate you guys helping out with that. And I know I do most of the editing and all that stuff, but it's still a team, dude. Anybody that comes on this show, it's a team. And no matter if we're pro car, against car, or this thing, that thing, it don't matter, dude. We're all about the silver and black, dude. It's all about the Raiders right here, dude.
Yeah.
I don't care what rumors or whatever, man. So I just want to put that shit out there right now. So here's the list of names we had, and I'm going to list the names of who were projected to have and how grateful we are for that. So first of all, Raider Critique, Raider Dave, Watts Raider, Big Tuna, as I stated. Thank you guys, man.
Thank you, brother.
Thank you.
Captain Jack, man. Kenny King Jr., Raider Cody. Thank you, guys. Angry Raider, Raider Berserko, Monster Mash Ken. Thank you. Mojo Raider, Murph from Raiders Fan Radio. Your boy Q with Locked On Raiders, and the Violator, man. And like, of course, some of these guys are bigger than other guys, and some are more well known than other guys, man. But you know, we want you guys to check us out, dude. We want to bring it together. We want to promote. I want to promote everybody that comes on this platform. I don't want to take from anybody. I want to add to your greatness, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And this would not be anything without the listeners, dude. Like, there is listeners that check all of us out, dude. I guarantee it. And I know who some of them are, man. Town Business, he's one that goes in and checks out like almost every Raider YouTuber. Mean 519 checks out everybody, dude. Shout out to Mean, dude. You know, Blake, I'm pretty sure he's one of the guys. Uncle Joe, I know Raider Rich, Fierce 88, dude. Like, almost all these guys, the listeners, they're not just like they're my listeners, dude. It's because they love the Raiders just like we do, man. We can't get enough Raiders because the media, 95.7 The Game, either wouldn't talk about us, or when they did, all they did was fucking hate on us. And how many people in the Raider Nation have been the ass into everybody's joke? You know what I'm saying? We rose up from the ashes, and that's why there's so many Raider content channels out there. We rose up from the ashes because the NFL Network weren't talking about us, and we created our own content. We are authentic, and that's original. Ain't no other NFL team or sports team can even compare to the amount of Raider channels, Raider content creators out there, man. And that just shows mad respect for the diehard desire to bleed silver and black that this fan base is. And as we transition to the new year of 2020 and become the Vegas Raiders, as hard as that made like roll off the tongue differently, we got to create that unity, man. We got to bring this unity that's on this channel, and we got to expose that, dude, to the as this team grows and as we bring in fans, man. We got to create that unity because we're setting the bar here, and other people got to step up to the bar and rise up to where we're at if they become a fan of this team. And so with that being said, other guests that we're looking to hopefully line up, everything's contingency on people's schedule, but real quick, next week, it's looking like, of course, me, Chris Wysong, man. I'm really hoping he joins. It looks like he's hopefully a lock. Monster Mash Ken, Captain Jack, Raider Dave, and then some other possibles down the road are going to be Violator, Kenny King Jr., Big Raider Trucker, Raider Homer, Pete behind the eye patch, hoping to get Che from Pillaging Podcast on, hoping to get Bobby from Pillaging Podcast on as well. And then I know there's others that I'm missing, but Big Raider Trucker, trying to get him on. I can't remember if I mentioned him. And then Mitchell Renz from Chat Sports. Like, I want to bring him on, man, dude. Like, we're gonna do whatever we can do to bring this family together. And at the end of it, even if I'm a strong opinionated person and I have my feelings on Carr, dude, at the end of it, what we're doing is bigger than my opinions and how I feel. What I feel and what I know is right of what this fan base needs, dude, is to bring everybody together, dude, instead of always bashing each other, dude, no matter how we feel. And if we can do that, man, we can inspire, and it's going to set the tone for this new transition, dude. And that's what we need as a fan base, man. We are so hungry to win. That's where it all dials down to. If you follow this down, like I've said before, the spider web effect, it all comes down to we want to fucking just win, baby. We have that passion. We have that desire. And so that's all I wanted to say for my little rant there, man. And if you guys have anything to say about what we were able to accomplish in 2019 and all the great guests we had on, I'm open ears, and anything you guys want to say. Appreciate you guys.
Right on, man. Well, thank you very much, Hardcore. I appreciate that, man. I'm proud of you, brother. The vision is coming together. And when it comes to being a content creator, I started in 2017. I had zero clue as to any content creators on YouTube. I'm just a diehard Raider fan. I've been around. I'm 42. I'll be 42 this year. Been a Raider fan for 35 years of my life. It's a passion. Listened to talk radio my whole life. They used to always clown on me back in the day on the job. Dave, you just bump that talk radio all day. Yes, I love information. I also love it when people call into shows. I love it when people comment. The reason why is because I value a public opinion, man. We learn something, whether it might not be an opinion that you value or you might not value that take, so to say. The fact of the matter is you're gathering information that does matter because it's been put out there in the universe, man. Once an idea or a take or an opinion's been put out there, it should be valued, in my opinion. And I do value everybody's opinion. And that's why I like to put everything into a whole. Helps me learn as a human being and grow as a human being. And then last, man, I just got a lot of energy. A lot of people started coming up to me. I'm a little bit older, I guess, now. And this is something that I never thought I would do, you know, as far as like vlogging or podcasting. But I just jumped right in and started doing it. Well, actually, before that, I had people actually coming up to me like, dude, you need a podcast. You need to get out there and talk, man. And I'm like, for real? All right, I'll screw around. I started a little rough. I'm cussing a lot. I'm doing things I probably shouldn't have been doing, clowning around on the internet. But, you know, once again, you know, as I'm growing, as I'm like learning new things, man, I'm all about the excitement and the culture of this fan base. And that's what I want to bring to the table. There is no competition. There is no, like, it's not about views. It's not about money. This is about a hobby, man, that we all love to do. Mm-hmm. And that's why we're all here today, man. I rearranged my schedule to make this happen because I take a lot of pride in it and I enjoy this, man. I enjoy this opportunity, man. So that's what I'm all about. And I thank you all, man, for all the videos you guys put out. I do watch and I do enjoy, man. And I'm learning a lot as we move along, man. So I appreciate this opportunity as always, baby.
I have to agree. I have to agree. This is one of the biggest opportunities that I had, you know, connecting with other Raider podcasters or vloggers, and knowing that I started it out on my own, and now I'm able to, you know, be on a show where they have not probably sometimes in podcasting you have to agree to disagree. Everybody's not going to be on the same page, but at the end of the day, we're all passionate Raiders fans, and to be a part of this group, and even though if you listen, I have all the time in the world. So if you ever want to do a show, and I do all of my own editing as well. So if you do need help with editing, I'm there. That's what the family is for, you know, because I taught myself how to edit. I taught myself how to do my intros, everything. So if anybody need help with that, you could come to me or Hardcore Raider, because I know he does his editing as well. But that's what it is. Raiders are a family. We're not just a team. We're a family. And regardless of what happens with the Raiders, we're still going to be RN4L for life. That's just how it's just going to be. It's just how it's going to be. And it's just a great opportunity for me to be on here because, I mean, I watch all three of y'all and watch Raider. So it's a blessing for me to be on here. So I'm really honored that y'all asked me to be on here.
Much love, brother.
Yeah, man, I appreciate you coming on, dude. That was you said that very well. And hey, man, like you said, it's family, dude. Like Oakland, dude, they set the bar for that tailgate family unity, man. It's up to us to carry that torch to the next chapter. It is.
It is.
The problem is the trolls. I mean, the trolls are what they are, but sometimes the worst thing is that some of the trolls are Raiders fans, and it's like, why fight with a fan base that, like you said, I mean, I agree with you on the content. Like, if the Raiders aren't good, they don't show them. They don't even talk about them, and that's why this is so nice to actually have, content and all that. And I think with John Gruden coming in and Mike Mayock coming in, that kind of changed a little bit the last couple of years, because a lot of those guys, I mean, Mike Mayock worked for NFL Network for how long, and John Gruden is just, he's a big presence for wherever he is, and people enjoy him. But the whole thing is that you guys got to realize that, once again, it's a family, and families disagree, but you don't have to cut people down. Some people don't. Some people aren't as knowledgeable as other people, and that's okay. You got to have that kind of fan, because if you got a bunch of know-it-alls, it's not going to work.
Yep.
Oh, absolutely.
So everyone from the top to the bottom just needs to realize that it's a family, because if we don't have a family, we don't have nothing, because they don't cover us. They don't cover the Raiders. I don't know if it's I don't know. I feel like Al Davis ruined that for us, which I love, though. With all the stuff
right?
with Rozelle and all that stuff. He didn't do anything with Goodell, but Goodell, it just blows my mind, because every year you see the sales Raiders are one of the top 5. Any player could be top 5. It just seems like for some reason the NFL itself doesn't want to show us, and I don't understand why that is. But I just think, like I said, one of the most loyal fan bases. I mean, we've moved like 6 times, and they still stay a Raiders fan, even if it's Los Angeles, Oakland, or Las Vegas. So, just got to be a family. The trolling's got to stop.
With the NFL investing, what was it, like $500 million into the Raiders or something? They're probably gonna, want to prop us up a little bit more in media as time goes on. But
which I was very surprised you did that.
It may not even be as much as someone's not smart. It may be like this: is this a yellow tape measure that's with black, or is it a black tape measure with yellow? I mean, that's it. Is the glass half full or half empty? So like sometimes it's just that. So, but like it takes everybody's kind of mind to make the world go round, man. And like we've all seen it. If you have a Twitter account, I'm sure most of us have seen the dire toxicness and whatever. At the end of the day, there's only like 2 opinions that really matter. And at the end of it, people are going to be right, people are going to be wrong, but we're still going to be bleeding silver and black. And that's Mike Mayock and John Gruden. I mean, we're all backseat drivers, but we still love the Raiders. But Watts Raider, man, thanks for coming back. I know Wi-Fi's giving you some issues, but I don't know if you heard, but essentially I was just giving a shout out to what we were able to accomplish last year in 2019 and all the guests that we had and some future guests that we're going to have. And just talking about unity, family, the Raiders. And just kind of, was essentially me kind of talking about the roots of this show, what we're able to create, and that family atmosphere and that unity that we need to bring to and for the Raider Nation, and that we're gonna bring to anybody that comes on this channel.
Definitely, man, definitely. Can y'all hear me though?
Yep. Yeah.
We can hear you, bro.
Right, cool. Yeah, I'm gonna just go with the audio, man, because I don't know what happened. My phone just cut off, so I don't know. But anyway, yeah, I mean, really, that's what this is all about, man. It's just about unity, man, and just kind of showing really what the fan base is all about. Through what we all do. And seeing, I guess making the Raider Nation feel included, like letting them know that it's a lot of us out there, like they not like by themselves, like since the Raiders have been a bad team, they just think that Oakland is just Oakland or LA, and it's kind of like now since, Raider content makers, it's been, more and more every year. it's kind of growing, and people starting to really see that the Raider Nation is worldwide, nationwide, worldwide, and that's moving to Vegas, man. I mean, that's like putting a fresh coat of paint on the Raiders,
Yeah.
and it's also giving the opportunity to the Raiders to make way more money than they ever would have made in Oakland.
Right.
Right.
So
if you watched
that's just how I look at it.
If you watch any of the Golden Knight stuff and the theatrics they did for them, just imagine what they're going to do for the Raiders. It's gonna be awesome.
Dude, yes, correct.
Yeah.
Well,
and they still do it. It's not like they stopped after the first year. They still do
they
it.
are lit for those Knights, bro. They are lit for the Knights.
Yeah, they're very passionate about the Knights over there.
Yep.
And I gotta give credit to Mark Davis. I mean, I just gotta give him credit for taking a risk and just saying, you know what, this is the only way the Raiders are gonna become what they should become. A good team competing, in the playoffs and in the division. I mean, that's all we can ask for, and trying to stay consistent and just basically taking over, really, man. I mean, really. I mean, the Raiders got the fans, got the fan base, got the lifestyle of the Raiders. So now we just got to win on the field, Just got to win on the field, man. So I'm excited, man.
I am too, man. As we kind of turn this page, the new chapter, and I don't want to take nothing away from Oakland. That's for damn sure.
No.
But no, I know what you're saying is that and probably as we get closer to like the new season, maybe we'll make that a show where we can maybe break down some numbers, because I ran the numbers actually a couple years ago, but about profitability and how it affects a team, and why being a more profitable team can benefit you down the road. But as we transition to this, we are going for more of a tailgate atmosphere to, something that's a little bit different. That's going to kind of be, I don't know, it's going to be different, I'll just say that. But it got me thinking with the draft in Vegas, and gambling is obviously huge in Vegas and stuff. It got me thinking, about poker, because I don't play much now, but there's been times in my life where I've chopped it up a little bit with some poker and went to a casino, or maybe did like some home poker tournaments and stuff like that. And so that was one of the topics I want to talk about today, is like, an experience maybe you guys had that was like fun, funny, maybe something you won, something you lost, whether it was at a casino, like something at home, on the street. Maybe it's something like you bet on a game, even a football game. It was pretty funny, man. Like 20 years ago, I bet $20 on a football game. And it was this guy. He was kind of like a big brother. We were roommates and stuff, and he never said how how the winnings were going to be dispersed. So I went and I purposely got every penny, nickel, and dime I could until I had $20 worth in a Ziploc bag, and that's how I paid him, dude. And like he's like, "What's this?" I was like, "Congratulations on your winnings." So his ass had to like take that and go like, to a coin machine or a bank and, transfer it to real dollars. But, that was a pretty funny thing, a game I lost. But, I used to just love going to the casino and spending $100 here and there. Unfortunately, more times than not, I've lost. So I'd go back to the ATM, spend another $5 or $10 for an ATM transaction. And next thing you know, I'm like anywhere from $200 to $400 in the hole. So, after that, man, I was like, I got my ass handed to me. I left. I would leave the casino, dude, just being like pissed off, and I thought I would redeem myself. It was pride. That's all it was, man. But I am a pretty good poker player. I am. I'm not great by any means, and I know I'm rusty now because I'm not up to date. But some guys are pretty crazy where they can throw in like, the percentages of winnings, and like they're more of mathematicians guy. I'm not like that. I see it as like kind of three things. Either one, you can play the cards, 2, you can play the chips in the stack or the chips that the other person has, or 3, you play the player. So I think there's like 3 factors. It's almost like a chess game to me when I play poker. So that's what I like about poker. You know, it's not necessarily the money aspect. I mean, yeah, winning would be nice, you know, of course, but it's like the challenge to like mind fuck somebody and make them think something. Like, and I've got my ass handed to me where people like, they'll just re-raise you every time, you know, because they're an aggressive guy. And I've been like you pick up on those tendencies. You're like, I just got to wait till I have good cards. And if I slow roll this motherfucker, dude, I'm going to take the bank from them. And I've done it. That's how actually that's how I won $800 one time on a cash game. I slow rolled this, but that person handed me my ass like a couple times. They had probably had a couple $100 from me before that. And I was like, I just got to wait. I hope they don't leave. I was like, I got him, dude. Like, I know I got him. I just got to have the cards, and then I'm going to smoke this fool. And there's nothing like just like putting down your cards, look at them in the face, and know that you just schooled their ass, man. So, like, for me, that's what's exciting about poker, man. It's like this chess match, and it's just like, you know, and sometimes you get your ass kicked too. But you know what I'm saying? So, anyways, what about you guys? I want to open up with Raider Dave, man, and I gotta pause here for a second, and then I'll be back. But Raider Dave, dude, tell me about the casino. I know you love to go to Vegas, man. Tell the Raider Nation some of your experiences, anything that like any advice you have, because I know you have a lot of wisdom on going to Vegas and stuff. And then we'll pass the mic around and go with Big Tuna next, and then Watts.
I just saw your clip, Dave. You was in Vegas, man.
Right on, brother. Yeah. We coffeeed out, dog. We coffeed out. We're still, it's like 1 o'clock over here on the West Coast. We're still sapping on that coffee, baby. We're getting fired up. You know. But yeah, right on. Shout out to you, Watts. I appreciate you checking it out, man. But yeah, man, I actually just got back and I had a blast, man. It was one of the more memorable trips, man. It was a party scene. I kind of started bar hopping and all that stuff. So yeah, man. So I'll hold that off though. Let me get to like playing poker and stuff. I do enjoy playing poker. I haven't played in a while, but Texas Hold'em was the game. Early 2000s, played that a lot. The only thing is, my advice to everybody when you're going to Vegas is get in their ear and bitch and complain about all these table games, because $15 minimum will take your bankroll real quick. You can't play blackjack off 15 a hand. I ain't paid like that. To play 15 a hand. Give me $3. Give me $3 tables. Give me $5 tables. That's what I've been saying to them. Like, give me more. Yeah, I know, Tuna. They're getting greedy over there, man. They're getting greedy. It's crazy. They're charging for parking. You know, it's crazy, man. But that's with the NFL moving there. So we're going to see. I've seen that change. I've seen that transpire. So yes, my high recommendation is hit up Fremont Street, man. You're going to get your $3 tables. You're going to get your $5 tables. Also, do pars, man. If you like pies, man, they got the best pies in Vegas, the best pancakes, old school joint there. Do pars, highly recommend that. But yeah, man, my whole thing in Vegas, dude, is partying too. You know, like so that the outdoor nightclubs I like. And then what else? Oh, Shay's is a good spot where I like to go. Irish pub over there. You put $20. Here's a good way to get free drinks. Put $20 in your slot machine. Play quarterback blackjack. The green light's on the other side. You're going to get free drinks. He's already going to know because the green light's on the other side, and those bartenders are all cool, so they're going to bring you mad free drinks. So I've racked up like $180 bills, bro, and then, flip them a good tip. But yeah, man, like as far as Vegas goes, man, I mean, it's a lot of people, like I felt that early on when the Raiders announced, like, oh, there's going to be a lot of road fans. There's going to be this. But from what I'm seeing right now, a lot of locals got season tickets. A lot of locals are going to rep the Raiders as their team. That's who they're saying, like, hey, my whole family got tickets. We're going to the game. I got my kids' jerseys, this and that. So we're going to grow. We're going to grow with this move. And, man, it's just going to be like the interesting part that I have to see is how that Vegas prepares, which I know they will. They're going to block off the strip for this draft. That's their plan. They're going to block off an entire like 6 or 7 blocks from like where the Flamingo's at all the way down to the other end of the Bellagio over there, where they're going to have the first round. I believe the second round is going to be in the Link Hotel. Third round, I can't remember exactly what, I had a general manager of a restaurant tell me where that was going down. I forgot actually. But yeah, man, my whole thing is get it started right, dude. Get to Vegas, get you some chips and salsa, get something to eat. I don't know if you guys ever heard of Hash House at Go-Go. I highly recommend that place. Chicken and waffles all day. Once you get that in your system, you can start sinking those Bloody Marys. You can start sinking those drinks. You won't wake up the next day hungover. You're good. There's tattoo parlors everywhere, so if you need that Raider tat, you can get tatted up right there on the spot. Next door, they got an IV, so you can get an IV. You can get IV'd out. Whatever you need to do, man, to survive in Vegas. Just once again, just get in their ear for me because that's what I'm doing. I'm always in their ear like, yo, match plays. I don't know if you guys heard of match plays, but match plays, whatever the hell happened to them. You know, they don't have those anymore, man. That was like the best way to get started, man, was, you know, casino gives you a $20 match play. I'd always do it at roulette, which I do not advise playing roulette, by the way. Yeah. But you put your chip right there with a $20 bill and a $20 chip and the $20 match play and put it on black, Raider Nation all day. If it hits, that's $80 in your pocket right there. And you just took the casino's money. That's winning. And, what else was I going to tell you? I think that was craps, baby. Craps is my game, though. Craps is my game. I haven't played in a while. I know. I'm seeing that unfold because I got lucky early on. I'm seeing that unfold. But if they got back to $5 tables, craps would be a little bit more legit. But $15 minimum, bro. And it could be a Monday morning. Think about that, a Monday morning, and they're charging $15. It's too much. It's too much. Well, but anyway, I'll pass it on, man.
That's why I'm not a gambler, man.
Dave, tell people what's the key to longevity? If you just want some free beer and stuff, tell them the key to longevity for that. Hold on, and then after that, do you have any funny stories or something, dude? Like even if someone's ass getting whooped or something, because I know you go to Vegas a lot, you gotta have something, man. But those are the funny things.
Just recently, this has actually got crazy because this prostitute walked right up to me with like a big ass herpes growing up on her lip.
Oh my god!
And she tried to tell me like Bill's Mafia. She was like, "Bill's Mafia, fool!" Like because I had my jersey on. I'm like, what? And I don't know what to say, dude, because it's like. I'm like, I'm talking shit. I'm talking shit. But I was like, yo, dude, I was so focused on this planet of a herpes freaking bump growing on her lip, bro. Like, I was like, dude, I'm like, are you serious? She's like, I'm flying in like 20,000 Bills fan. I'm like, damn.
Wow. You really been making money out there.
That's going to be like one tore up show when that's all said and done. I'm like, you're flying them all out here. I'm like, no matter what, you're flying out Bills fans. Good for you. You still will not take our stadium. You will not take our stadium. And I've been telling everybody that's been telling me that because everybody comes up to me and they're like, oh, man, we're going to Raider games. We're going to take your stadium. Road fans now and this and that. And I'm like, you're not. That's not happening. I cannot visually. I just cannot fathom that happening.
No.
But yeah, no, that was a true story. That was just the most recent one that popped in my head. But then I got so many stories, man. A lot of them are on camera. I don't put it out on my channel. Sometimes I'm like, should I put this stuff out on YouTube? It's cool, man. You meet people. I met this dude from Ireland. He walked right up to me, dude, and he's like, oh, Raiders, I love the Raiders, man. And, he's not a Raider. He's a soccer fan. But the first words that he told me, he goes like this. He goes, and it was like Ed Sheeran, times 2 on the freaking accent, dude. He was like, fuck the Patriots. Just like that. I'm like, yo, dude, that's my man right there. Shout out to Ireland. Oh, and if you're listening, if you're still following me on YouTube, shout out to you, big dog. That was freaking hilarious, bro. First words out is fuck the Patriots. I'm like, hell yeah. But yeah, man, no, it's just a good scene. But I think the best thing to tell you guys is that if you're at O'Shea's or any bar that comps drinks, put that money in that slot machine, that table slot right there at the bar, and just put like $40 in there, dude. As long as you got a $20 minimum, they're gonna keep bringing you free drinks. And if you're sitting at the bar, keep that in mind. You're getting mixed drinks, you're getting beers off tap, whatever it may be. So it's really worth your money. And like I said, I've ran up $180 on that, and still shaking hands with the bartender, like, hell yeah, go have a good time. And they recognize us when we come in there, so they're always like, yo, bro, you're back, right on. And they all got Raider shirts on now. They have embraced what's coming to Vegas, man. It's live, man. And every time I leave Vegas, man, I only go for a couple days, but there's always a part of me that I love that place, man. I really do. I really do enjoy my stay there and live it up to the fullest, man. And I just don't get caught up in the crazy shit there. But, I keep it drinking and gambling and all that stuff. But yeah, man. But I'll pass the mic, man. Give me your guys' thoughts on Vegas if you ever been or what you plan on doing when you go or.
I've never been.
It's a good time,
I haven't
bro.
been to Vegas since I was a kid, man. So, hey, I got some folks out there, man. Once I get there, I'm gonna blend in and have a good time. Just pretty much go sightsee, try to meet people. I'm not really a gambler, I might dibble and dabble, but I'm just gonna be excited, just to be at the draft, and it's in the home of the Raiders, man, and like feel real comfortable, you know. Uh, but I do have some gambling stories with one of my friends. Actually, two different stories. The first story was this was probably like maybe like 2002. I was in school and everything, and me and my boy, I knew he loved to gamble. He loved to shoot dice. So we was at school, man, and we was getting out of class or whatever. So we went across the street to the little liquor store or whatever. Went to the little park, whatever. So we over there, and a couple of dudes come up there, and they started shooting. So we walk over there. He's like, "Hey, man." He's like, "Man, I got $5 in my pocket." He was like, "I know you don't gamble." He was like, "But look, give me $10, and I'm gonna help us come up. I'm gonna help us at least double the money. I'm gonna make at least $30." I'm like, "All right." So I gave him the 10, right? So he got $15, right? So he's standing on the sideline just watching the game for about a good 20 minutes, just watching them shoot. So I'm like, "Okay, man. So what? What are you gonna get in the next game, or what are you gonna do?" He's like, "Don't worry about it. I got this." He's like, "I'm just watching, seeing what they're doing. I'm looking at the other dude. I'm seeing, what his tendencies are, what he like to do, this and that." And I'm like, "Man, you just gambling, man. You just shooting dice, man. It's luck." He was like, "Nah, it's not luck." I'm like, "All right." So the whole time, the next game, he's like, "I'm gonna sit out another game." The next game, all he does is side bet. He's side betting everybody, right?
Oh
Side
my
betting,
god.
right? He started out. I mean, they started small, and he started coming up. So by the time he side betted that whole 15, he made like 20. So he made $5 right there. So then he started upping the side bets, and he was going with one dude on the dice. Then he broke it down to one person, and he was side betting on they shoots, and they was shooting, and he was winning. So the next game, he had maybe about $50 then. The next game, he shot all against them, took all of their money. He ended up with like maybe 100, maybe a bill total, and he gave me back my $10, and he kept the rest.
Wow.
I said, "Well, he gave me my money back." I said, "Well," I said, "Bro, you know what? The next time you shoot, you come get me, man. I'm gonna put money in with you every time." So I mean, he was like that dude that you take to Vegas with you, or if you go to go gamble, you take him with you. Even if like if you playing cards, you take him with you. I guess like he's like a good luck charm or something. But another time, uh, we was somewhere in his neighborhood, and we went over to one of his partner's house, right? So they was all in the garage. So we sitting in there, he's like, "Yeah, man, I finna have my partners come over here and shoot dice." You know what I mean? These boys got big money. I'm like, "Oh, all right." So I'm over there just chilling. I'm just in the middle of the shit because I'm with him. So he's in this type of lifestyle, you know.
Right.
So this is his fun basically. So okay, we over there. So some cats come in, and they both got they both got paper bags in their hands, right? So they set them down on the side. Then I'm like, "Okay, so how we starting the game off?" They all pull out $20 bills. I say, "Uh-oh, they shooting 20s?" I said, "They shooting 20s?" So I looked at him. He was like, "Hey, man, let me hold some money, man. I'm trying to get into the game." So once again, this was way later. Once again, I gave him $10. He had $10. I gave him another 10. I said, here, bro. If you lose it, I ain't gonna be mad. So he shot with him, won that 20. Then won another 20. Lost a little bit of money. Then he bet all the little money he had left, won that back. They looking at him like, they keep going back to their little paper bag, and they looking at him like, he got all these 20s. He got these 20s on in his back pocket, sticking out his pocket. I'm like, he like, bro, I'm finna try to dip into what they got. They want to keep shooting me, man. I'm gonna have to dip. I say, well, look, you better walk away because I ain't got no more money to lend you, though. So, I mean, he came out pretty good, you know. I mean, if he would have had more money, I think he would have took a lot more. But, you know, he quit when he was ahead. You know, it's times that I seen him, you know, like make like 150 in a couple of hours of just gambling and then gamble it all off in one day. You know, so he was like an example for me, like not to really get off into gambling. You know what I mean? It's good here and there, but that was just his fun, though. You know, that was his fun. But myself, man, I never really been into it. I think the closest thing I probably got to gambling is probably maybe DraftKings, or, I mean, my fantasy football league is pretty much gambling. You know, we put in a fee, you know, and if you win the Super Bowl, you get most of the money. If you go to the Super Bowl, you basically get your money back that you put in. So it's gambling. So that's probably the closest thing I done got to gambling. Yeah. So I made $500 on DraftKings in a month.
Hell yeah.
One time. Nice. You know, even though I squandered it away the next month. You know. So when I get to Vegas, man, you know, even for a game, I just think it's gonna be so much to do. And even if you don't go to the game, just go out there for a weekend, you know, when they're having a game, man, and really kind of experience it. I think it's going to be like something, you know, like really unique, having football and then it being in Las Vegas, you know. So I'm just glad that the Raiders are there. I mean, you know.
Definitely. Well, you know, my advice is, like, you know, from somebody that has too much pride to gamble, because, you know, I've just had some bad experiences, you know, and like when I've lost, man, it's like I'll be like in a tournament or something, and I'll get beat by like deuce 8 offsuit or something fucking stupid, dude. Where like I get done and it's Texas Hold'em, I'll get done and I'm like, how did he hit it on the river card, you know, or like the last card? Like it blows my mind, dude. I can't leave. I'm like, dude, like I almost freaking, you know, and so
and that will happen in Vegas. That will happen.
And I said it before on the last show I did, but I'll say it again. There's people, even with card games, that are like literally paid by the casinos just with they're playing with house money, and they just keep re-raising you, so they take your money. So just be careful, Raider Nation. That's one of the other reasons why we're doing this. So not to keep people from gambling, but just share some stories and stuff. You know, as some people might be hitting up some casinos, and the best advice that I don't always take, but is to, like, whatever you gamble, whether it's $100 or if you're a little bit deeper pockets, it's 500. Be ready to lose that money. To where if you lose that money, you can walk away. Hey, no harm, no foul. Like, it's like you have your play money in this hand, and you got your money not for the casinos in this hand, and you only play with what's in this hand, and you cut it off. You know, and like. And
left pocket, right pocket. That's what I always live by. Left pocket, right pocket.
Don't bet the rent.
And if you're not feeling it, like Dave said before, I don't know if you said it because I had to pop out for a minute there, but be willing to walk away. Go do something else. Go have a drink.
Right.
You know? Don't be like me, dude. It's so prideful where, you know what I mean? You get done and your stomach just keeps hurting deeper and deeper. It's like each time you're like, oh,
I got yelled at, bro, last week, and I just remembered I had this chick, one of the casino hosts, she screamed at me. She was like, get to your – because I was in a slot tournament. She's like, get in your seat now. And I'm like, yo, you don't need to fucking yell. Like, it got into a scene, bro. Like, that's why I'm like, I'm shocked sometimes with some of these events that have taken place that I didn't get filmed. I told my wife to whip out the camera because I'm like Mortal Kombat on this slot machine. I'm like, yo, if it wasn't for Mortal Kombat, I'm taking you fools out. You know what I mean? Because we've been playing Mortal Kombat. I bought that shit. I haven't played video games in a while. I rolled up into Target. I got Mortal Kombat. My kid and I wanted to play. It was like $50 or whatever for the game. It was like, yo, dude. So we've been battling on Mortal Kombat like crazy. And I was like, so I got to give mad shout outs to that because I took 5th place in a big slot tournament, which put $100 in my pocket, which kind of helped me break even for the weekend. It's good to come back feeling even. But yes, I do get in their ear. I bitched at them about match plays, and whatever I said got in her head because I didn't say much. And, dude, yeah, then after that, it led to more. I mean, I don't even know if I could really say this stuff online. They were telling me about sorority girls going to, like, hey, dude, in 5 minutes, the sorority from UNLV is about to run through this building naked. And I'm like, I don't know what to say about this. My wife's standing right here. Like, bro, you're talking. Like, dude, like I'm telling you, bro, like, once you get talking to people in Vegas, you start to learn things about the city and what's going on and all that, bro. And, like I said, literally, I don't know if you caught that part hardcore. I had a prostitute tell me.
I did. I heard that.
Bill's Mafia. She told me Bill's Mafia.
Hey,
and
I was going to ask you, was that
Raider Nation? What planet are you on? You think we're not showing up?
Hey,
that's our stadium. That's our stadium.
Is that the girl that's doing that Raider Nation song? Raider Nation.
Now let me say,
that's what it reminded me of. Was that girl? She almost
looked very similar to her, and this is why. So she looked very similar to her, dude. And now check this out, bro. Now what Tuna was saying about trolls, I think those are trolls, bro. I don't even think those are Raider fans. I think that's a troll move by some freaking who knows. You know, who knows where the fuck they're from, bro. Obviously, look at the fucking video. Where the fuck did those people come from, bro? Where did that? You know what I'm saying? Well, but anyway, don't get me started on that shit. I gotta tone it down.
I know we haven't gotten into the combine yet. We need to be getting into it. Big Tuna or Darian, did you guys have any stories you wanted to share? Or I don't know if you guys already did or not.
I got a quick one just because you were saying like you go in, you try to make your money, but you lose everything. So when I was younger, I used to work in the horse racing industry, which is all gambling.
Oh yeah.
I moved down to Florida, and me and my boss went to a highlight tournament, and we lost our ass. And so we had some money left. And so we called, like back then you could call an offshore bookie and you can get weird stuff you can gamble on. So the guy told us that the only thing that's left is a sauna contest. Like which person is going to stay the longest time in a sauna?
Dude, Tuna, real quick, I got to ask you, that's the satellite betting you're talking about where they do the through the satellite? Yeah. Okay, cool. I know what you're talking about. Yeah, right on.
So we did. We bet on some guy at 3-1 to sauna, and it ended up happening. And we won because the other guy died in the sauna.
Wow.
No way, bro. And they got a live feed on that? Like you're checking on him and shit, and he's in the incubator and just croaking?
So, yeah, we won our money back.
Damn, that is intense. Yeah. Bro, where was the sauna at? Like which state, dude? It
was in Bangkok.
Holy shit. Dude, that is
you
crazy.
Anywhere.
That's all time.
I don't know how this guy, my boss in horse racing was a guy that we used to mess around with the mafia and stuff like that. So he knew people that dealt with that stuff. Like, yeah, we would bet like cockroach races, stuff like that. It was disgusting stuff we would bet on.
But dude, that guy in the sauna, bro, he had to have some serious cash on that shit. He probably bet on himself in that one, bro.
Yeah, well, I hope. I don't know, man.
I think he did, bro. I was like, he had to have, man. He's like, yo, I'm betting on this shit. I got this.
Well, it's just like we went to go bet highlight. I don't know what highlight is. I don't know how it works and all that stuff. But,
Damn.
I used to be a degenerate gambler about that stuff. It was my boss that was, but I always would go in with him because we'd win every once in a while. But after we bet on the sauna championships, I kind of reflected on my life.
Holy shit.
His loss was your gain, literally.
Yeah.
I should have
got real.
What about you, Darian? Was there anything you wanted to share, man? Or
oh man, I can tell you it was a couple years back, and I was playing DraftKings on Monday night. Now, knowing with DraftKings, I was like, let me just go and just do the little $5 because usually when you got the 5,001 people in there.
Yes. Yep.
Right.
So in the first 3 quarters, I was in first place for $1,500 until Drew Brees threw 2 interceptions in the fourth quarter. And once you in DraftKings, when you throw interception, it deducts your points.
Yep.
So when he threw two interceptions, it went from me being first to being seventh. So I went from being $1,500 to $200.
Damn.
I was so pissed because you was up 2 scores, and all you had to do is run the football in the fourth quarter, and you throw 2 picks.
Damn.
Yeah.
I went from winning $1,500 to $200. So yeah, that kind of. I mean, I still came out good knowing that I put $5 in.
Yep.
That $1,500 would pay my rent. So
and I know those I know those tournaments. I play in those all the time, dude. I play in those because it's big money. If you get the right lineup, you're in.
Yeah, actually, I did from Sunday to Monday slate.
Yeah,
and most of my people played on late Sunday afternoon and Sunday night, and then Monday night football.
Right.
I was in first place going into Monday night.
So Drew Brees, that was when Drew Brees played on Monday night then?
Yeah.
Okay.
The Drew Brees played on Monday night.
You was like, I got it. You was like, I got it. I just need him to do this for me, and I got it.
To run the football. That's all I needed.
Hey, hearing you say that reminds me of something I completely forgot about. But when the Broncos were in the Super Bowl, I did like the Super Bowl squares, and it was like $20 a square. I did like 2 squares. I couldn't believe the points I got. I got like 7 for a quarter, and then it was like 10 or 14 for another one. I was like, dude, I'm like almost guaranteed locked to at least have one of these, dude. I'm gonna win one of these squares. And then Peyton Manning gets a fucking safety the first play of the game.
I remember, yeah.
The only time being a Raider fan, I'd probably be pissed at the Broncos for doing something fucking stupid, dude. But I was lit, dude, because I had the perfect numbers, dude, where like I was like I almost guarantee I'm gonna get a payout, you know, and sure enough, man. But hey, man,
those two Super Bowls ago in Vegas, if you remember at the end of the game for the Rams, that guy missed that field goal.
Yep.
And if he made that field goal, Vegas would have lost like something of like 30 or 40 million because he missed it. They end up grossing like 120.
Damn.
Stuff like that, like it's like
that's crazy.
Yeah.
Wow.
Just by one pick. I don't know. I don't know if I would
gambling.
Well, hey man, those are some great stories, dude. I know this ain't a gambling show. I appreciate everybody in the chat for sticking with us and stuff, you know. But it was just some stuff, you know, with all the Derek Carr and all that stuff, you know. I wanted to come up with some other stuff and like, you know, there's some fun stories, some good things to talk about. I'm sure people in the chat have some funny stories, dude. David Marks was here in the chat last week, and he said he won 12,600. I forget how he said he won it, or no, it was like slots or something. I can't remember, but
damn,
I was like, damn, dude. Like he said 12.
Right,
he said 12.
That's straight cash out. That's straight cash me out.
No, dude. He said he won 12.6, and I was like, well, he can't mean $12.60. And then I'm like, can you like specify? Sure enough, dude, man, that fool won like 12 grand. But like, those are rare cases, dude. I'm not saying it can't happen, but man, hats off to David, dude, because like that's what. You know, most people go to Vegas hoping they can get that, or go to a casino hoping.
Right.
But you know,
grand, even.
There's a reason why casinos are very profitable and you know, are in business, and most people don't win. You always like if I added up, even though I've won some money here and there, all the times I've bet money, I'm still behind the curve versus how much I've won, even if I've won some. But you know, but it's still fun. Just be ready to lose your money. So don't go there with like $2,000 and that's you know, your rent money or some shit. And next thing you know, you're out your money, dude, and you're gonna have a horrible time at the draft. You know, don't be that fool. So you know, and not that anybody needs my advice, but you know, at the same time, you know,
always set it off with chips and salsa and a bucket of beer, and you can make a decision. Therefore, once you've had your chips and salsa and your beer, you can make a good executive decision after that, man. That's what I recommend.
Nice.
Got to feel good, baby. Got to feel good.
Well, we got some people in the chat, man. Cabba Sky, Raiders 7528, Jules for Life. What's up, everyone? Raider Rich, Stephen Castle said he's from the UK. What's up? John Q, CA Sports. And then I know Town Business was in here earlier, as well as Pete, Uncle Joe. Sorry it took a while to transition to the main topic at hand. But we just wanted some good stuff to talk about there. So I hope you guys enjoyed that. So with that being said, let's get into the task at hand, which is the combine. Now, this is not a mock draft. This is breaking down some talent that you guys saw at the combine. I mean, some guys that you like, some people that the Raiders could realistically target, especially in the third round or the later rounds. Some guys that you guys are liking, maybe some needs of the team. Different things like that, and some people that the Raider Nation could keep an eye out for. We'll do a mock draft later on down the road, but this is just kind of more of a talent evaluation of what you guys saw, who you're liking, what you're liking, why they might be a good Raider. For me, just to kind of open this up, my thought process on where the Raiders are at as far as defensively, I don't think this team is that far off defensively as a lot of Raider fans think that we are, in my opinion. In my opinion, it comes down to a couple things as far as scheme and fits and teams we have to go up against. You're going up against the teams like the Chiefs, which you're going to be in battle for to try to win, beat them for the division title. You got to think about how can you compete realistically against the Chiefs. Okay. They're an offensive nightmare. So they score a lot of points. So either you got to be able to keep up with them and scoring points, or defensively you'd have to stop them. Okay. Now they're a hard team to defensively stop. They have speed. They got Tyreek Hill. They got, who's the guy they drafted last year? Now I'm drawing a blank, but
Hardman.
Hardman, Sammy Watkins, and then Robinson's also a pretty good guy, but Robinson's going to be a free agent, and who knows?
They're going to get some more this year too.
So they got speed. They can burn you. Plus they have Travis Kelce. Okay, I said at the beginning of the year last year,
we can't stop him.
I said at the beginning of the year, even with Carl Joseph, even if Abram didn't get hurt, and even if Joseph didn't get hurt, how are we going to cover tight ends? That was my biggest concern, okay? You guys are talking about Carl Joseph earlier. I will say this. If we would have had, here's just my opinion, if we would have had Abram, Joseph, and Joyner all starting together as that nickel package that the defense was completely designed around, it could have been a completely different turnaround for how this defense produced. Okay. I'm not giving excuses. I'm just saying that the defensive scheme was around a nickel back set, and those three guys may have been able to withstand and withhold a lot more. We probably still would have gotten beat deep. Hold on. I probably still would have gotten beat deep. Probably still would have got beat deep against some teams like the Chiefs that have just some mad burners. But looking forward into this draft and in free agency, and this ain't a free agency show, but this is a talent evaluation. We got to have guys that can cover some deep passes. And even the Broncos have Noah Fant, so we also need a guy that can cover tight ends, whether it's a cornerback, nickelback, or a linebacker, okay? And then we need some speed to where we can cover when we're getting 3-4 wide receiver sets. It's when we're getting the 4 wide receiver sets that this team is getting smoked. Mm-hmm. But back to my original point, this team is not that far off. Now, yeah, I'm not saying Tahir Whitehead is
we're not deep enough at cornerback.
We're not, but we have at least one piece, okay? And
Whitehead too slow.
And my Trayvon Mullen, I think has potential, Worley, we'll see, work in progress. And this isn't like a full breakdown of our team, but I'm just saying that if we look at it, if we get 1 or 2 players, like say we get 2 cornerbacks, 1 in the draft, 1 in free agency, we get 2 linebackers, 1 in the draft, 1 in free agency, or something like that.
We're good.
That can right. Our defense is going to be a complete, like some people always want to get defensive line, and I love everybody and people's takes and stuff.
No, we need to let them gel.
Right.
Let them gel.
I think our defensive line is good. Maybe get a defensive end possibly, but at the same time, our back end, we got to figure out how to stop the tight end, how to stop the deep ball. That's my take at least. So as we go into this, that's what I'm hoping for defense. For our offense is what I'm hoping for is a wide receiver, some speed that, we can maybe keep up on some points, against some teams like the Chiefs, and then also maybe potential quarterback. Okay, so with that being said, I don't care who opens it up. We'll go around and just your guys' take on whether or not you want to start with kind of what I just said, or if you guys want to start with like the first round, who you're liking in the first round and why.
Well, I mean,
you go ahead, Watts.
I'm gonna be quick, man. Be quick with it. I'm really not gonna go by rounds. I'm just gonna go by the players at certain positions that I think would fit with the Raiders. I mean, we can start. Let's start on the offensive side of the ball. So we got a wide receiver. You got Judy, you got Lamb, and you got Ruggs. You got Higgins right there too. So that's 4 wide receivers right there.
Higgins.
Higgins. We get one of them cats.
Oh, right. Yeah, Clemson. Okay, T. Higgins. Yeah.
Yeah, T. Higgins. Yeah, we get one of them cats. The instant weapon on the offense for Derek Carr. Instant weapon.
Right.
Either one of them guys. Later in the draft, we could still get another receiver. I like Pittman too. Pittman Jr.
What is it? Hold on. We'll slow you down a little bit. What is it about Pittman Jr.? Because there was somebody in the chat last week saying something about Pittman Jr. That's Michael Pittman Jr. or that's Michael Pittman's son, right? Is that correct?
Yeah.
Okay, so what is it that you like about him, and who did he play for? So give us a little knowledge on him.
Okay, Michael Pittman Jr. USC wide receiver. I mean, He got height, he got speed, he know how to run routes, he can catch the ball, and he knows how to get open to help his quarterback. So he can actually cut off his route and just get open across the middle. So he can catch the deep ball. He can catch the ball in the red zone, going toward the sideline or the back of the end zone. He can high point the ball and catch the ball like a defensive back. I think he's tough. He's strong. I mean, he don't look like big, but he's strong. He's strong upper body wise. He's strong. I think he can compete for balls.
You know what round he's
projected? Maybe 3rd, 4th, 5th round.
3rd round.
Okay. Maybe.
Okay. They're comparing him to Michael Thomas.
He's pretty good, man. I like him a lot though, and not just because he played for USC, but I watched a lot of tape on him, and he got potential. He's like one of those players you bring in, and if they hungry enough, they're gonna succeed. So I like Pittman as far as a late round wide receiver. I got one running back, man, that I think the Raiders should be looking at. Not in the 1st round, maybe in the 3rd. I like A.J. Dillon to back up Jacobs. I like that.
Okay. All right.
Quarterback.
What is it? What is it about A.J. Dillon you like, man? Because
he's huge.
Some of us may not be as well versed as you and whatnot.
He's like Derrick Henry 2.0.
Okay.
He can be. He can be.
He's 6 foot, 250. His 40 time was 4.65.
Okay.
Power back.
Yeah,
size.
That's a big. Yeah, he's got.
I like him though. It's a couple other running backs, but that's the main one that I think we could get later in the draft. Quarterback. I got Love, Hurts, Jacob Eason, Gordon, and maybe Hundley. Hundley is a project. Out of all of those, I would like Jalen Hurts. I mean, if we were gonna go grab a quarterback, but I like Gordon too as a project too. Gordon.
They've got Eason has moved up from like 7th to 4th, and now they're saying he's 3rd, so he's going to get picked in the 1st round. Everyone knows about it.
Yep, he's got the arm. That's why he's got NFL.
He's got it. Right. He's got it. Yeah, he's got it.
His father played in the Super Bowl as a quarterback.
Really?
Yeah, he's got it, man.
I
like
Bears
him too.
In '85, when the Bears kicked the shit out of that other.
Okay.
Got some garbage time there, huh?
Oh, okay. Didn't know that.
Did not know that. Good find.
Wow.
I like Eason though. The thing that stuck out to me about him is his awareness and the way he always his feet is always set for him to throw the ball. Like he's never standing like a statue in the pocket. He's always in a position to throw the ball anywhere on the field. So I like that because he doesn't hold the ball too long and he attacks the defense with the open man. So that's kind of why I like him though. Hurts. I just like Hurts. I think he's a leader, man. I think Love is a leader. I like Gordon because I think he's more of a mental quarterback as far as how he looks at the defense and how he tries to beat the defense.
Gordon might be a good backup to Brady. Just saying. I went there. Oh my God!
You went there,
Look.
It's Brody, man. No, I'm kidding, dude. But yeah.
Go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say, but I don't want to get on a tangent. I probably shouldn't have said that, but if the Brady thing ever did come true, if you draft Jalen Hurts or Jordan Love, that's a weird transition. You know what I mean? Like if you were to get
that's the
Brady,
future, though. That's the future.
I know. I'm saying if you get a Hurts or a Love or someone like that, you almost need to keep Carr or Mariota or get Mariota or something that's a better transition. For
definitely.
Because Brady's the pocket passer. I'm just saying
do it though.
And that's
do it regardless.
Some of that's more of a free agency stuff. But I mean, you just have to think about if you like a quarterback in the draft, what's going to be the best situation to transition from what you have now or get in free agency.
Carr.
And for that. Right. And I'm not saying
choice.
At this point for or against. That's maybe next week. But,
Carr already has played 2 years in the system. This is going to be his third year. So if we draft a quarterback, that means Carr already got 2 years in the system. And we got a rookie quarterback that can learn this year. Now, if Carr's bad this year, then we might get rid of him. That means that'll be almost 3 years in the system and the experience of teaching this young quarterback that we need to learn the same system of John Gruden's offense. So I think that would be better than getting Tom Brady. I mean,
yeah.
And you save all that money.
Mm-hmm.
You keep Carr at the rate pay that you paying him right now. I'm just saying.
The one quarterback that everyone's saying to stay away from is Jordan Love because he played in the same scheme that Blaine Gabbert played in. And that's what I remember Blaine Gabbert. Everyone loved Blaine Gabbert, and it's just I think he's one to stay away from. But I think Jalen Hurts is going to get picked way before his projection. He might
probably.
They've got him projected in the fourth round, and I don't think he'll make it out of the second, just because
he probably won't.
Just because he's shown that he can throw now. When he was at Alabama, he couldn't throw a lick, but he learned how to throw behind Tua, and he went to Oklahoma and he learned how to throw the ball. So that makes it, you know what I'm saying? And it's just, and the one thing that's makes me laugh a little bit is Tua just keeps dropping and dropping and dropping. People just aren't big on Tua anymore.
The hip, man, it's a risk.
Yeah, it's a heck of a risk knowing that hip injury that he had is really bringing his stock down. But what I do like about Jalen Hurts is that he learned how to throw the football. But you think about it, Oklahoma could bring some products at the quarterback position. You've seen it from Baker Mayfield. You've seen it from the number one overall draft. What's his name?
Kyler Murray. Yeah,
Kyler Murray
popped out last. He came right after Mayfield
last year. So and within that first 2 rounds, there's gonna be a lot of teams that need a quarterback. So knowing that we don't have a pick in the second round, Jalen Hurts is going to go before we even try to get him. If we do decide to get him.
Yeah. The thing is that I think a lot of people are going to also Jake Fromm. Jake Fromm might last the third round, and if the Raiders have a chance to pick Fromm, he might have. He's shown that he can be great. He's shown that he can be bad. That's
right.
I'm a Bulldogs fan, so I know. But the thing about I was going to go back to Tua again is that everyone always says that he's athletic, he can change, he can run and make a play and all that. Mm-hmm. So Joe Burrow ran a 4.75 40. Tua only ran a 4.72. So that hip has slowed Tua down.
Right.
Exactly. So he's not as athletic as some people think. But I'm on the boat of Jalen Hurts too. I would love Jalen Hurts on the Raiders because he would be a great backup, and Gruden, I just think Gruden enjoys someone like that.
Definitely.
The only issue I'll have with Jalen Hurts is that he really haven't played under center. That's my only issue. But other than that, I think he will fit because Oklahoma, they do run kind of like a pro style, but most of the pro style is from the shotgun. It's not really
Right.
from under center. And you know,
Right.
John Gruden, he loves that I formation, that fullback, that running back, that quarterback under center. So
He did run a lot of shotgun more than I thought.
I think he'll be fine because I mean he can run. He can run on design plays.
Right.
A lot of people are saying Cole McDonald. Do not pick Cole McDonald from Hawaii.
He runs like a running back.
Yeah. Cole McDonald. You said the Cole McDonald from
Hawaii?
Cole
McDonald.
That
from
dude,
Hawaii. They're saying,
hey, man, you know Hawaii quarterbacks, man.
Dude, that dude's weird. Man.
Yeah.
Let's set the stage, man. So I think we should roll with that. We'll go off.
Remember Colt Brennan?
What was that? Was that all you had?
I had a couple more positions, 2 more positions on offense, man.
Okay.
Offense.
Guards. Listen, guards. It's 2 good guards in this draft for Michigan. The 2 good guards for Michigan, those some really good guards, man. I'm just saying. Bretson and Owenu. And I have tackles, couple of tackles, man. Willis from Alabama, Becton, Austin Jackson from USC. Tackle.
Are those guys later round guys, or are you talking about
Austin Jackson, yeah, later round. I think Willis in Alabama, they probably gonna go 2nd, 3rd round, probably. Bretson and Owenu, probably 3rd round, 2nd, 3rd round, probably. Now defense.
No. Hold up. No, let's do off. Let's go around table. We'll do everybody offense, and then we'll go defense. I think.
All right. Okay. All right.
Set the stage. So, all right. Who wants to go next? I don't care. You guys
I'll go because I wasn't really preparing for offense because all my people came down. I wrote down for defense because I think that's where the biggest needs are. But at the same time, with this Raiders team in general, I think we just need depth at every position. Yep. And I think that's where we lack at is depth at every position. Knowing that when injuries went down, especially at the receiver position, we didn't have no depth there. So I'm definitely going to start with the wide receivers. And he said it on the way, like, Judy, CeeDee Lamb, Ruggs. But I feel like CeeDee Lamb fits us more than Judy and Ruggs. Not just because of speed.
Me too.
But I feel like the yards after the catch for CeeDee Lamb is better than Ruggs and Judy. Judy
he knows how to make you miss, man.
He's a deep ball, but CeeDee Lamb, I think he was like 4th or 5th in this conference at yards after the catch. And that's pretty big, knowing that he's coming from a Jalen Hurts as his quarterback. So I really do like CeeDee Lamb. I did a lot of research on CeeDee Lamb. I know he didn't have the best 40 or that vertical, but the guy can run routes. The guy
he's smart.
He can miss tackles and he's smart. So that's why I think he will fit the John Gruden offense because once you get that play action out the I formation, he can come back to the ball. He's good on the comeback ball, and he can run the shorter routes as well, knowing that So I do like CeeDee Lamb at that position. Now, this might be a little bit underrated for y'all, but at the running back position, I do love DeAndre Swift. I do love
DeAndre Swift. Dude, I love all these running backs, bro. They're great.
To me personally, he is the sleeper of this draft. A lot of people have not been talking about DeAndre Swift, and I love the way he runs the football, knowing that I could be a kind of biased because he is from Philadelphia, and I saw him play in high school as well. But I can say the guy after contact, even in open space, he's really good. He's a really good running back. I can see John Gruden putting him in our system. He kind of reminds me of Rashard in some instance, but he's a better runner between the tackles than Rashard is. So he could get those 3rd and 2s or those 4th and 1s because he's kind of big too, but he could catch the football out the backfield. So I think he's one of my other sleepers that I do like for the Raiders to get in the later rounds. I say if he's there around the 3rd or the 4th round, I would like to see us get a running back there. I wouldn't say get him in the 1st because I think that'd be a bit too high.
Yeah, he's going to be a first.
You're talking about Swift?
DeAndre Swift.
Swift's number 1. He's the number 1.
I think he'll be in the 1st round for sure.
I don't have much talk about him. That's why I'm just kind of.
Man. I believe it or not, I've even had thoughts of maybe even Jacksonville going after DeAndre Swift at number 20 because you got Garner Minshew. These running backs are good in this draft. I like 6 running backs in this draft.
Right.
There's some good backs coming out this year. Electrifying, quick feet. one cut jump type backs. You know what I mean? I mean, we saw what Josh Jacobs went 24th overall last year.
Yeah,
dude, we got to see a running back go a little higher this year. I think.
I really
do.
I really don't think that Swift would even last to us in the third round. He won't.
Nah.
There's
That's
no.
what I was saying, Dylan, man. Because
Dylan,
I just
what about
think
the kid from Utah, Zach Moss?
Yes,
He's like
yes.
a-
That's what I was going with next.
Zach Moss and
okay.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you guys off. Pete got my guy in there, freaking Keyshawn Vaughn, dude. That's a baller right there. Out of Vanderbilt, man. That dude's quick. Inside, I mean, just with what I'm seeing with these backs, man, I really did fall in love with this running back class this year. Didn't think it was going to happen. Point being, there's playmakers, man. We need playmakers, man.
And back to the wide receiver thing, and I understand what everyone's saying about CeeDee Lamb and their playmaking and Judy and that. I honestly think the right pick is the kid from Clemson, is T. Higgins, because
like Julio Jones, man. I'm telling you.
So Judy's 6'1", Henry Ruggs is 6 foot, CeeDee Lamb 6'1", T. Higgins is 6'4". So to me, if you want that number one big receiver, and everyone thinks that they're going to use either the 12th or the 19th pick on a wide receiver. That's what everyone thinks, but things change, obviously. But I think that for them, it's just Higgins is a big guy, and he's got big touchdown potential in the red zone. I just think I think CeeDee Lamb, like you're saying, he runs good routes and all that, but the biggest thing about our offense, and Mike Mayock said it wasn't the yards, it wasn't the third down convergence, it was scoring. We couldn't score. We were like 25th in the league in scoring and like 25th in the league in red zone scoring. We need to have a big target on the outside, because honestly, you put
like you froze up there.
Yeah, it felt like.
But T. Higgins, man, I agree. T. Higgins is a great prospect, man. And think about Tyrell Williams. He's 6'4" as well, running that 4.4 40. That'd be nice to have both those guys on the outside.
But I don't know how you guys
but the question
feel
is,
about it, but the Alabama receivers, I don't think they should. No.
I'm not after the whole Amari Cooper situation. I do not want another Alabama receiver. I don't.
Well, see, look, this is the thing. It's between two guys. It's between Lamb or Higgins. Because to me, if you pick Lamb, he's the best out of those three. And then Higgins is right. He's the next player right there. So if all three of those guys are gone, by the time we get to 19, we pick Higgins.
Yeah.
I think Higgins don't drop, though, because I know that he's a touchdown machine. I think he might go in like the top 15, at least top 15. I don't think we'll get him at. I don't think we're going to get him at 12, but he might go before. He might go before 12, depending on his talent and what he did for Clemson in the last couple of years. He might go before 12.
That's the thing. Unfortunately, we might get the afterthought of the top four. Like we might end up with Ruggs the third or something. They got to stay away from that.
I'm going to get into that.
Hey, Darian, was that your last offensive guys you wanted to talk about?
Yeah, that was because I didn't really have too much offense. I had more defense. So so that was my for my offense.
All right, let's go Big Tuna next, and then Raider Dave. You will wrap us up with your offensive guys and where you're at on this.
On offense, I think everybody's saying either the 12th or the 19th pick has to be a wide receiver. Stranger things have happened. Maybe we trade for a big time wide receiver that's on another team. You never know. If that happens, I still think that maybe an offensive guard. But I'm dead set on at 12 or 19 it has to be a wide receiver. It has to be.
Right, one or the other.
The only thing I'm nervous about is that so someone trades up to get Judy. Someone trades up to get Lamb. Someone trades up to get Ruggs. Someone trades up to get Higgins. Like, do we want Ruggs? He's fast. He's very fast. But if you watch him play, his hands are sometimes suspect. And we know all about that. We've drafted But then again, you don't know. With Alabama, there's always
It's a hit and miss.
receiver. Yeah, I mean, you have Ridley Cooper, and I think the best way to go is either Lamb or Higgins.
Mhm.
And with the 19th pick, that's a crapshoot. I would think it would
Right.
be. I think it would be a defensive player. Maybe some depth at cornerback. Defensive line, I think, is fine. A lot of people are saying D end, and I just think that what we have now, especially the way that Pharrell played at the end of the season, he played really well at the end of the season.
Yeah.
So I mean, the other thing too, guys, is you got to realize we have. Hold on, I will name off all our unrestricted free agents: Darryl Worley, Carl Joseph, Vontez Burfict, Mike Glennon, Benson Mayowa, Dwayne Harris, Josh Morrow, Kyle Wilbur, Isaiah Crowell, Jordan Devey, Curtis Riley, Will Compton, Rod Smith, David Sharp, Eric Tomlinson, Olsen Pierre, DeAndre Washington. It's a couple more. Deion Jordan, Richie Incognito. That's like 25 guys. So
Wait, didn't we just resign?
I thought we re-signed Incognito.
We did, but I'm saying all those guys that
And Devy. Didn't we resign Devy too?
Oh, I don't know about Davey.
Devy, I think he might be still hurt too a little. I think he's still a little.
We should resign somebody else too on the line, I think.
But I'm just saying that we have.
But yeah.
There's a lot of holes to be fixed on either side.
Resign Carl Joseph.
So who do you got? Who do you got
Yes,
in the
please.
later rounds offensively, Big Tuna? That you think some of the,
I like Zach Moss.
And hold on, while you go, because I wanted to ask you on two guys or whatever. Okay, the wide receiver, if you know anything about these guys, and not that this is your take, but just because I know you're very well versed in this, the wide receiver for Notre Dame, I can't remember his name, but the wide receiver for Notre Dame, do you know anything about him and what round he's projected in? Because he seemed like he might be a later pick guy that maybe has some talent, and then. Now I can't remember who the other guy was I was thinking of when I was watching the combine.
I can't pinpoint the name from Notre Dame.
Are you thinking of Claypool? They're going to use him as a tight end. Yeah, he's talent. That's a talent right there, dude. I'm intrigued by that player, big time.
Claypool, he's listed as a tight end, but once again,
okay.
The other thing too is that at tight end, I think we're decent. With Foster Moreau, the Claypool from Notre Dame. The thing is that he's 6'4" and 229, so he's in that limbo of weight of where you put him. Okay. But they're also saying that he's like a 6th round pick, so you might take a chance on him. A lot of the guys are saying because he's a little bit of a project, but we enjoy projects. We've shown that with Waller,
Yep.
And they compare him to like Funchess, and Funchess really hasn't done much, but when he was first coming out, he looked great. But I think, like you're saying, that's somebody that they could look after, and because I do think even if they pick a wide receiver in the first round, I think you still have to pick another in the later rounds as well.
Right.
Right. But it's that's a good find though, because like I said, I have him in my book, and I have him rated at 21, so he could go. I'm thinking 4th or 5th round that he's going to get picked up. But he's a big dude. I like the big size, because that's the biggest thing is you need that big monster guy that can. And even though Tyrell Williams is big, I just don't see him as that great outside fade kind of guy like Calvin Johnson, Randy Moss kind of stuff,
And if he's tall, if he's like 6, how tall is Waller? Like 6'4" or something, or 6'5"?
6'5".
Yeah, about 6'5".
Yeah. And if he's 6'5",
and he runs a 4.4.
If he's 6'5" and Carr's throwing him the ball, Carr will overthrow him by like a foot or two, so he can't get it.
So you grab it.
Well,
he's not fired.
Early on in the season, man, he was actually throwing some nice back shoulder passes to freaking Tyrell Williams, and I don't know why they got away from that. I felt like that was the best position to catch the football, but I'll stop there.
But Claypool too is fast. He's at 6'4", 229. He runs a 4.40.
Yeah, his combine came out. He tested well, man. He tested well.
He's 6'4", 229 pounds, and he ran a 4.48 40.
And his stock is rising, to my knowledge. I thought his stock is rising though, right?
Yeah, no, I had him at a 6th round, and I moved him all the way down to 4th or 5th, just because there is that weight issue. Like, is he a tight end? Is he a hybrid? Like, where do you put him?
I mean, if they didn't get for some reason they didn't get a wide receiver in the first round, I mean that could be somebody to look at even maybe possibly in the 3rd. From the sounds of it, I don't know too much about him. I just was curious, And then who else do you have like for offense for later rounds that you were?
I've got Zach Moss, but we've talked about him. And the other one I had was the offensive guard from Georgia, Solomon Kinley. 6'4", 335. He ran a decent. He was like 5.3040, which is, at that weight, it's just. But the one thing that I've read about him is that he does not stop. He's like a pancake machine. Like, even if the ball's over here, he's running his block past it, and coaches love that stuff.
And what you're thinking, just so I know, you're thinking on why potentially we should target a offensive lineman. What's that?
I'm saying we should look at some depth at the line because Incognito is old. I mean, you know what I'm saying? Because, you think about it, as of right now, our line is good. I mean, Trent Brown and Miller on the outside, and then you got Incognito and Jackson, and the best center in the league, in my opinion.
Given that there's no injuries, and knock on wood if you're with me.
Yeah.
But yeah, you're right. We have a good line as long as there's no injuries. And
that's why I stated that we need to get depth in that position too, because there's some good offensive linemen coming out in this draft, and knowing if it just, God forbid, knock on wood if you're with me, just something happens, we have the depth there. Take a step in and fill in. So
I do think that one of those third-round picks needs to be an offensive lineman for sure. Yeah. I think in the first round we need to address wide receiver and probably defensive back, and then on the back end from 3rd to 7th, I think it needs to be at least a backup running back, a backup offensive lineman, and then it's got to be all defense. The rest of it has to be defense. Maybe a wide receiver, like you were saying. It's just. It's unfortunate because now looking at the free agents, like, we have a lot the Raiders, you're going to see them sign close to, I would say, probably 10 to 12 players in free agency, but for little money, like just guys that are going to back up and stuff like that. So, but yeah, no, the other guy, like I said, the guy from Georgia, the guard, and Zach Moss at running back. But it's so crazy. We do so much work on this stuff, and people are so wrong on everything.
Oh yeah, except for Mike Mayock. I remember when Mad Max was picked. I was like, who's this guy? And then we all know who he is now. But when we picked him, I wasn't upset. But when we picked him, I didn't know. So
smaller school.
Want to give a quick shout out to the chat, man, and Pete's in here. Sanjoku, dude, what's up, brother, man? Appreciate you for tuning in. Sanjoku has his own YouTube channel. Hoping maybe at some point we can bring him on as well. Look at your email, San. Anyways, and then Pete, man, he was actually going to join us, but he had to work today. So that, shout out to you, Pete. But I know Pete was asking us if we looked at Antonio Gibson, a running back, at all. I haven't, man. With me getting sick, I wasn't able to do as much research for this show as I was hoping. But all these guys in here are doing a great job picking up my slack and whatnot. So definitely a team effort. But so I don't know if you guys know much about Antonio Gibson. Looks like Watts just fell out, but and then everybody else, man, Fierce 88 and Cabba Sky. What's up, man? Pittman Jr. Oh yeah. So that was the other question I was going to ask you. What round is he projected to go in? Are you thinking for Pittman Jr.?
He's hold on.
Wait. Watts said 3rd or something, or what'd you have on your notes? I was just curious.
He could be another riser too, I think.
Yeah.
But it's a deep draft for wide receivers, so you can hold off.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, maybe it depends on how many of these guys fall in the top 20, and is kind of what I'm thinking. How many receivers go top 20? We've talked about 4 going top 20. So
I think it's close to 5.
Close to 5.
I think 5 to 7 wide receivers are going to get picked in the first round.
Okay.
Pittman, I have ranked number 11. I have him going in the 3rd round. He's decent. I mean, he's 6'3", 225. He ran a 4.5540, and he had 101 catches last year. And USC was not that good last year. For him to take on that much, with a team like that, he had 11 touchdowns. He just didn't have that many yards. He had 101 catches for only 1,200 yards. So he's only averaging, But still, once again, if we miss that, if we don't pick in the first round, like what Dave was saying, I talked to someone from that I know. He does the same thing that I do, and he says this is the best wide receiver class he's seen in a long time, from top to bottom. Like, there's some of them that you could pick in the first round. He might pick in the 3rd or 4th. He might turn into a first round talent. There's a
Right.
lot of intangibles.
We still
With
have
the
to
wide
think about it
receivers,
too,
it's
knowing
good
that
because
pro
we
days
need
are
that.
around the corner too.
What's that?
Just to think about it, some people's rise is going to stop because pro days as well.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yep. And of course, NFL will hype up certain players for certain reasons or whatnot. And then just to respond to Pete, do you have any research or stats on Antonio Gibson, running back from Memphis?
Let me see. I don't think he declared.
No, he's declared. Yeah, he's in this. I think. Yeah, he's projected like, I think third round, like mid rounds right now.
Yeah.
Definitely a riser. Another, like I said, I love this. I love this class of running backs and wide receiver this year.
I love any running back that comes out of Memphis. I don't know why, but they've been so good.
Yes.
We still have yet to see with Darrell Henderson, who came out last year. Man,
Yeah.
he's another one. Man, could be getting a bigger role with Todd Gurley and his injury history.
Listen,
and they're in Cap Hell, I think, right now. I almost said St. Louis. In LA, they are in Cap Hell right now.
So Dave, man, let's roll on with you, brother. I want to see if see your offensive takes, man. What you're thinking about offensive here, and then I'll close out the offense, and we'll move on to defense after you go. I'll go.
Right on, and I agree with everybody, man. We do need a guard. You always got to stockpile when it comes to the trenches. However, I'm not focused on that because like I said, if we do draft a mid-round offensive player, I'm good. Give me a guard out of Clemson, Alabama, Georgia, Ohio State. Georgia and Ohio State, I like those teams, man. They look a lot of pro-ready players, especially Ohio State, glued to that team this offseason. But playmakers, man. We need a playmaker, man. And I do have Isaiah Simmons falling to number 12, so I'm going to skip on the 12th pick. I'm going to jump right to 19. I'm going Henry Ruggs the third, man. I'm in love with this receiver, man, since day one, man. I think he's got it all. Daniel Jeremiah said it in the combine. He had one dropped pass his entire collegiate career, and he's got 10-inch hands. He's got speed. I think this is a guy, you throw a pitch, you throw a wide receiver screen. It doesn't matter if we're trying to stretch the field. Even if we do, Derek Carr does have the arm strength to get the football down the field. But I believe in game changers, man, and I think Henry Ruggs is a game changer. I think he plays with a chip on his shoulder. I like his backstory. He's a good family guy. This guy's got a chip on his shoulder. This guy's got a lot to prove. I know he's an Alabama wide receiver. I'm not big on Bama receivers. I'm big on Bama backs since way back in the day. But, man, I love this kid, man. I love what he brings to the table. I just, once again, I believe in you get the ball in his hands, he takes it from there. He could get you, it's just like what you see with Tyreek Hill and the Kansas City Chiefs. You deliver the football in space. All you have to do is get him that football in space. And once again, one thing I noticed about Henry Ruggs, he goes up high. He goes behind him to catch balls. He catches balls that are thrown low. So you throw it, that catch radius is there. And, accuracy is a big deal in the NFL, but at the same time, just getting the football to space and letting your receiver make the play is what we're relying on this league, and I just think Henry Ruggs has it all. Now, aside from that, though, there's a guy that I really do like, the Colorado kid. What?
I want to ask you one thing because I've heard your takes for years on talent, and I think you're one of the people like all these guys that hit the nail on the head. What is it and how is it, do you think, that Henry Ruggs fits this West Coast offense for Gruden, and what makes him maybe more intriguing than some other guys?
I think when you combine hands and speed, I think that works in any offense. I just think that if you're throwing a short, intermediate slant,
there we go.
Let's say you throw a slant to Henry Ruggs and he's already 2 yards ahead of his DB. Let's say he's in press man. Or let's say, he won't be impressed, man. They're going to play off of him. If he gets respect, let's say the DB's playing 8 yards because he's already respected him. He doesn't know. This kid possesses speed.
That's a 25, 30-yard reception or something.
Exactly. And speed, we know that with Cliff Branch. It creates fear. It puts fear in the defense. We saw it with James Jett. We've seen this. You know what I mean? And you want to put fear in that defense. And if you're giving me Ruggs, and let's say they give him 5 yards, and let's say you get him in space on a quick pass. Derek Carr is really good at getting rid of the football within 2.5 seconds. He gets rid of that football. Boom. And you got Henry Ruggs. Now, if he splits the safeties and he creates more fear as he hits the back end of that defense, we're talking big plays, man. I mean, there's just some plays at Alabama that really stood out to me. The one where Tua dumps it off to him 7 yards in the backfield, and he takes it 75. The counter has it rushing. That he took it 75 yards with ease down the sideline. I think it just creates so much confusion. It gets the run. It gets the defense. Keeps them off guard, and then you factor in all your other weapons.
They're gonna start trying to play more zone.
Exactly. That's what we want to see. We want to see him play off a little bit. You want to open up that window. You want to create that 1-2 punch. You got Josh Jacobs coming out of the backfield. You know, they're going to be respecting the run. They're going to be respecting the speed. It's putting that whole combination, and I think it enables us to compete to a certain degree in a shootout with Patrick Mahomes and the weapons he has over there. But we'll see how that remains. Keep in mind, this is a deep wide receiver draft, deep running back. Kansas City's going to get their pick as well.
What kills? And what kills?
Speed, baby. Speed. I can't get away from speed. I grew up on speed, man. I loved Al Davis for what he was, and that was a speed talent evaluator. I still need to get my James Jett jersey. I will get it. That's a jersey that, we always talk about. Like, I regret buying a jersey and these guys are bust. I want a James Jett jersey. You know what I mean? And but speed is everything.
Kenneth Murray, man. That's why I want Kenneth Murray on defense, bro. Middle linebacker.
Okay. Yep, I like Murray a lot. Yep, I like Murray. All these guys are pretty fast. These linebackers are all pretty fast. They got good speed, good range.
Let's get off. Dave, the only thing I want to say about Ruggs, and this is what scares me about him.
Okay, go for it, brother. Go for it.
He gets hurt a lot. He misses games because of minor injuries, and a lot of people are saying that he is
fragile.
He's like Will Fuller to Deshaun Watson.
Oh man!
But we don't have Deshaun Watson.
I can respect that. But I think as far as once Ruggs just gives me that demeanor of a player that he was pro ready coming out of high school. So like I'm sure his college career and all that means something to him, being a Bama guy, all that. But I think this is the ultimate stage for Henry Ruggs, and I think this is where he gets lit. And I know there's just something about his character too, to where I see like a guy that really has a lot to prove, and a guy that is just a natural at what he does as well. And when I don't know, I just see it, man. I just feel
He's got the Las Vegas Raider in numbers. He's exactly what Al Davis would have picked.
Exactly, and this is not Darius Hayward-Bay. I mean, we're not reaching at number 19 here. This is, I think, right where he should be. But I want to also say though, because ultimately, my all-around favorite receiver, of course, is going to be CeeDee Lamb. He's the man all year. I mean, it was over once he put on the Biletnikoff jersey, and it took storm after that. And every Raider fan wanted CeeDee Lamb, and so do I. And I think he is the best wide receiver in this draft. I do like Jerry Jeudy. He's very polished. Route runner, as everybody has stated. However, there's the kid out of Colorado, man.
Yeah,
Laviska Shenault Jr. I know
I totally forgot about him.
He is hurt, and the crazy thing about him though is just his prototype is like I could see Drew Brees getting that guy the football and them lighting it up 1,200 yards and 15 touchdowns. I could see him. What was the other team I had him going to? I had him going to another good team that's a good offensive team, but he's a player that is just. He's intriguing, man. So if we did trade back a little bit to get him, I'd be cool with that too. And overall, I do think we need to trade back and add more picks because this is a draft that's just loaded with playmakers. And I think at this point, with our offensive line, the way it's built, it's veteran-led. Derek Carr, he's a veteran quarterback. We got the young tight end in Darren Waller, who has completely emerged as one of the best tight ends in the NFL. Mm-hmm. Man, with Tyrell Williams, the struggles with the drops, hopefully that gets better. I just think we just add a couple more playmakers to this offense, especially young guys coming out of school with a lot to prove and a chip on their shoulder. Man, this could really electrify this offense, and this could get us over that hump because we need to score 25 to 26 points a game. If we're going to win football games, especially in the AFC West, we need to score 25 to 26 points a game.
The other thing, too, is that at the end of the season, Derek Carr's number one receiver was Hunter Renfrow, which is awesome.
Yeah.
Because that means that, you've got that outlet to go to. Instead of throwing it to a running back, which he does a lot, throw it to Renfrow. Because I remember the last game against the Broncos, if that guy didn't tip that ball, that was right in Renfrow's hands to beat him with a 2-point conversion. Derek Carr realized what a lot of people have realized, that Hunter Renfrow is like Wes Welker 2.0. He doesn't look athletic, but he can catch the ball.
Hunter Renfrow really caught me off guard. I mean, of course, when we drafted him, I did a lot of research from watching his high school film to his college film. I mean, this guy I was in love with him right away. But, man, I was frustrated in that Bronco game that you just brought up because Derek Carr had him wide open earlier in that game. He had a nice double move, man. Hunter Renfrow shook a DB pretty good and was 3 yards past. I forget who he shook, but he was wide open. It was earlier in the game. It was like in the second or third quarter, and he was wide open, and Carr just overthrew him, man. It's just, but yes, Hunter Renfrow really caught me off guard. I mean, just his toughness, how he caught the ball in traffic and you'd see defenders bounce off of him mainly because he keeps his legs moving. But
I had him in our draft. I had him in our mock draft last year because
nice.
I watched him.
Nice.
I watched him when he was no matter what quarterback was back there for Clemson, he put up the numbers. When he did it when he had the game-winning catch with the
national championship.
Yes, I remember that one. Yeah, yep.
He was just a big time. He was just big time in college. He was just big time. And I like, if he keeps falling, I kept saying in the draft, if he keeps falling, the Raiders are going to get him. If we end up getting him, I love the kid. He's awesome.
Yeah, man. Yeah, and dude, yeah, I mean, and just to watch his development early on in his career in the NFL. So, man, when you got these core pieces, that the Raiders were able to find in the 2019 draft, because we knew that was going to be a strong draft, but then this year in 2020, man, this draft looks deep as hell all around because you can fill positions, add depth like you had mentioned, but also the playmakers, man. And one more thing on T. Higgins, though, man. He really impressed me, too, in that national championship game with that I believe it was an end around they ran with him, and that was super impressive. So, I mean, I think that's 5 receivers that we have pretty much down for the first round that could make a difference on this Raider offense in year 3 with John Gruden, man.
The one thing that people need to realize as well is that Mike Mayock, this was his job for 30 years of just watching. He didn't work for a team. He just did it for NFL Network. And I think that's the best thing that's the one advantage we have compared to other people. We have a guy that really, his strong suit is getting the players to the team. Mm-hmm. He might not do well. He might not handle some situations right, but he finds the right players in the draft because this is what he does. This is his, this is what he did for so long. So, I always, honestly, I think we'll hit a home run every year with him as our draft guy because he just knows. He knows he was the guy that called Aaron Rodgers going to Green Bay. Yep. No one thought that. He did. So it's like, I just think that the best thing is that we have the best college football, analysts or whatever you want to call them out of anybody in the league.
And I think it's innovating as well, Tuna, man. I mean, because, the next guy is going to show up and be the next GM, that's an NFL analyst out of the network and whatnot. That's what's beautiful. Man, I love this what we're stepping into in this new decade of 2020. Technology is getting better right now. We're seeing it. We're seeing technology really advance right now. We're seeing the Raiders in Las Vegas. I mean, a team is going to play in the city of Las Vegas, which is insane. I was told as a kid that would never happen. Just what we're climbing into, man. These are great times, man. And the Mike Mayock thing, what an innovating move by Mark Davis and John Gruden to make that happen last year, because that was just they hit the nail on the head with that one, man.
Mayock's a personnel guy. He's a really good personnel guy. He knows how to pick what fits the system, what players fits where. So he's really good at that.
Yes,
he does take character into, and that's a big thing for me. Is like every year there's guys that have character issues.
Yep,
and it seems that Mike Mayock just crosses them out. Like there's nope, we're not taking them.
And to Mike Mayock's credit, he's a people person too, man. So he's able to connect with characters and he's able to read that stuff. You know what I mean? And I even think down the road, if he does see a guy with character issues, he's going to find the right guy that the organization can identify with, connect with, and make right. I mean, I know Darren Waller was before him, but look what Gruden and them did as far as bringing in Darren Waller in I mean, that's a life-changing event right there for Darren Waller and the Raiders. I mean, just everybody in that situation, man. So, yeah, man, I'm real excited just from the character standpoint. I mean, Josh Jacobs, man, high character guy, man. He's gonna be, I had one guy, and I don't mean to get, but one guy was telling me, because I got in a little argument with a local there. He's like, oh, the PSLs didn't pay for the stadium. He said that the hotel tax didn't pay for the stadium. I'm like, he's like telling me where'd I get my news. I'm like, well, I read all the news, but he's apparently has these like whatever sources he has, but he's saying they're taking it from the school system. I'm like, no, they're not, dude. I'm like, no, they're not. I'm like, you got guys like Josh Jacobs coming to your city. These players are high care. They're going to donate back to the school system and all that stuff. And, and like I said, from what I've read, I'm pretty sure it's factual. I don't think people are putting out too much bogus news out there. But at the same time, the PSLs funded that stadium. The PSLs are the highest PSL. I mean, out here in LA, you got Rams are selling PSLs for $200. The Chargers are selling PSLs for $100. That when the Raiders had scattered seats for their PSLs, $13,000. There's a big difference. So I know that money's funding the stadium. I know the hotel tax is funding, because I go there and I spend money and I see the rates going up. I'm like, damn, you got me this time for $150. Used to be a little bit cheaper, But so everything is lining up. And with the character, I think that's just huge and beneficial for the city of Las Vegas, because it's going to make everything better and everything connect. And, yeah, man, just what a great era to be stepping into. Sorry, I didn't mean to ramble there, but I'm ready for defense too. But playmakers in this draft, man, playmakers. I love the running backs. Keyshawn Vaughn's the one I got my eyes glued to. Zach Moss. You also got the kid out of Wisconsin. Yes. And, I know he's going to probably go first round, but would you guys think he's going for? I think he might go first round, because he ran a 4.2 Blazer.
Yeah,
he's a big guy.
They have the Ohio State running back rated above him, but I think it's going to flip flop.
And then with him, if we were to trade back and get a second round pick, I would be intrigued with that pick, because reunite him with Alec Ingold, man. Right? Those Wisconsin guys they're pretty good up front, man. And that's another school I didn't bring up. Wisconsin, I've liked what they've done the last couple of years. All these schools look good. Iowa, man, they're putting out good guys this year. Yeah, but Ohio State, man, I was just impressed with that team. They just seem like a a lot of pro-ready players, and we'll get into that in a little bit when we get into the defense. But yeah, man, that's where I'm at. I'm locked in on Henry Ruggs, man. I keep watching film, and I can't get enough, man.
Right on. Well, we're at the 2-hour mark, so let's try to get this thing rolling here. It's my bad, dude. It's because I threw in the gambling stuff. I just thought it'd be a fun thing, other than talking about Derek Carr and all that, But with that being said, my quick take is I'll make it real quick, and that's I kind of agree with you, Dave, man, about Henry Ruggs possibly not at 12 in my opinion.
No, 19. That's where I got him.
Here's the thing. Overall, looking at the draft, somebody's gonna, even though this ain't a mock draft, someone's gonna fall to us at 12. And it very well. I don't think it's Isaiah Simmons, but you never know. It could be. People could move up to get a wide receiver. People could move up to get a quarterback, maybe an offensive lineman. You never know in the draft how the chips may fall. To me, how I'm looking at it is either Isaiah Simmons, CeeDee Lamb. That's my favorite dude, and I think he's like the perfect scheme fit for the Raiders. The way he can juke, he's I hate to use the name AB, but he's almost got that juke capabilities to dodge players. But even Jerry Jeudy is real quick, shifty, and so I could see any three of those guys being amazing for our team. However, if a guy like Tua Tagovailoa, if I said that right, if he fell to us at 12, I don't know. I probably butchered it, but I don't know how you could pass up Tua, even though it'd be a gamble if he was available for you at 12. Now, if say something happened, all three of those guys are gone. To me, trade back, figure out a way to get a second round, because there's still going to be wide receivers in the first round. And you could still get a linebacker with 19 or wide receiver or whatever, depending how far you trade back. So I wasn't keen to trade back at first, but the more I think about it, if something happened and those three guys for some reason were gone and your guy isn't there, then you know what, maybe trade back. So, the wide receiver I was talking about from Notre Dame, then Michael Pittman Jr., like you guys were talking about, I think those are some interesting prospects to look at in the later rounds, So with that being said, we kind of went over offense there, and then we talked about needs on defense. Like we've said, we need speed, man. We need to figure out a way to be able to be more competitive with the Chiefs, and we got to be able to score offensively. Someone was saying our team averaged 20. Who was it?
24 points a game.
Was that all season, or was that the back end?
We averaged, to my knowledge, we averaged 19 points.
Yeah,
that's
19.
to my knowledge.
I think we gave up about 24 points on defense, but
I think it was
I don't know about that on offense.
But nevertheless, on offense, whether it was 19 or 24 points, that's just not going to get it done. I don't care, and I don't want to get on the Carr rant, but I don't care if Carr's coming out saying you can't always score 21 or 30 points a game. I mean, to me, that's hogwash.
Well, if we averaged 24 points a game last year, we would have been a 10-6 or 9-17.
Okay, but nevertheless, I mean, you're talking about going against teams like the Jets and some other teams that, you know what I mean? I'm talking about the Chiefs. I'm talking about the top tier of the top tier, and that's what we're looking at. We're looking at what do we got to do to be able to win, to be a successful organization, dude, and not just make the playoffs and call an 8-8 or 9-7, even a 10-6 year good. We have to be able to compete with the Chiefs. So as we roll into this, let's get into the defense and figure out what speed we need, who you guys have, what you guys think the Raiders should realistically be looking at. And, why don't we start out with Darian, and then we'll move on to Watts with defense.
Yeah. Speaking of Isaiah Simmons, that was one of my picks. I really do love this guy. He tore it down in the draft. If he's there at 19, him or Kenneth Murray would be my pick at number 19, just because they both can run sideline to sideline. They both can tackle. They both. Only thing I can say that Kenneth Murray got over a little bit of Isaiah Simmons is coverage. He could play in coverage a little bit better than Isaiah Simmons. But if one of them are there at number 19 in that first round at 19, I will go with probably Kenneth Murray over Isaiah Simmons, knowing just because of the coverage wise at the linebacker position. I do have an underrated person though. Kyle Duggar is a D2 corner, and he comes out of Lenore Rhines, right? Big Tuna, like the Kyle Duggar, and he actually improved himself in the Senior Bowl. He actually went up in the mock drafts in the Super Bowl. I mean, not the Super Bowl, the Senior Bowl, and he had the highest vertical of all safeties at 42 inches. Bro. Period. Yeah, at safety, he had the highest vertical of 42 inches.
What position are you talking about?
He plays corner.
Oh, okay, yeah. Hold on.
I think he's safety too. Yeah,
he plays corner and safety. So out of all the safeties, he had the highest vertical. So I do like the fact that he had the highest vertical at 42, knowing that means he could jump and get the ball over bigger receivers when it's coming across the middle or against the deep ball. So Kyle Duggar, he's a D2 player. Didn't really go up against a lot of big names, but I do like him in the later rounds, like 5th or 6th round if he's there. But I do like him as well. I do have a few other players that I did have. I did like C.J. Henderson. C.J. Henderson was one of my guys that I did like from Florida. Speedster. He could cover man-to-man or in cover 2s or cover 3. I do like him as well. And a kind of underrated guy as well too. Willie Gay Jr. from Mississippi State. He's kind of short, but he can tackle. He's strong, and he can be a good inside linebacker too. So I do like him at the combine as well. But he didn't play much at Mississippi. He only played 8 games out of 13 due to injury. But he ran a 4.4 at the combine, 4.46 at the combine. That's not too bad for me for a linebacker. So that's just he has good ball skills. And he didn't have limited film. I couldn't watch too much because he didn't have much this past season. But I did like those 3 players as far as, Isaiah Simmons, Duggar, Henderson, and Gay Jr. There are my 4 defensive players that I do like. That's kind of under the radar. Simmons is the popular one. Henderson is kind of a popular one as well. But I do like Kyle Duggar. Kyle Duggar really stood out to me in this combine.
You said C.J. Henderson. Is that one of yours?
Yeah, from Florida.
Yeah. The one notes I do have was cornerbacks, because I was watching that real in detail, and I had 2 stars next to him, and he looked smooth, man. Was it like a 4.39 40? Yeah. Big Tuna could probably confirm this, but he had he's got some speed, man. I like that take, man. That was a great take.
Yeah, I love his style of play too.
Henderson. You said you talk about Henderson?
Yes,
correct.
Henderson, yeah, he ran a really good 40. They compare him to Joe Hayden from Pittsburgh.
He
That's
had a
good
lot of
comparison.
pass deflections.
Yeah.
too.
Yeah.
What's his height?
Knockdown balls.
He's
6
like
foot
5.
1. 6 foot
Oh,
1.
is he 6'1"? Oh,
Yeah,
damn.
6'1".
Okay, so good height, good
That's
speed.
a good height, especially for our
Yeah.
division. Is that
What round is he projected in?
First.
Yeah, he should be top
Wow.
20.
Oh,
I
really?
think.
He's that high.
Top 40
Okay.
probably.
That
Well,
might
if
be.
if any of those linebackers not there, I say get him at 19. If any
That's
of the
what I'm saying.
linebackers
They
not
might-
there,
they
get him
might
at
drop
19.
him. It's
Okay.
funny though, because like cornerbacks are the new like big thing to take now in the first round. It seems like a lot of cornerbacks go off quick,
Well,
but
that's what I was going to say, Tuna. That's why I'll get, but I'll explain later. But yeah, I think in this, well, now what we're seeing is if you got a tackle, in the top 20, they're going to, teams are going to go tackle. They're going to go quarterback, corner, and then edge. Even if it might be a raw edge guy, you got the kid out of LSU that's rising.
yeah,
He's raw, but at the same time, the demand is there. Demand is there. So teams are going to take that risk, I should say.
you can never have too many defensive ends because they rotate out, and the LSU guy, they have him, I think, all the way up to like top 3.
Top 3 overall?
Wow. Overall?
Let me see. What's his name? What was his name?
Chason, like Kayvon Chason from LSU.
Is he a defensive back or is he an outside linebacker?
Oh no, edge rusher from LSU.
Okay,
Yeah, I think he's a junior,
okay.
Interesting.
but he's rising right now. Yeah, he was like, I've seen him in like some top 10. He's like 10th overall in some mocks, but yeah, kind of. I compare him, similar comparison to Arden Key, the way because Arden Key came out at a young age as well.
That's the big thing there is if you think about it, if Arden Key comes back and he was playing really well in the beginning of the season, you've got Crosby, Farrell, and Key.
He was raw when we drafted him. He was raw as hell.
I mean, it's just so was Hurst, and those two have turned out to be, so adding up, there's no problem with adding another pass rusher. But,
no problem with that.
Yeah, no, and I don't think, from what I've heard, I don't think Mayo is coming back. So
I would like to see them sign Mayo. I watched a lot of his film, man. He did some nifty. He's developed into a nice defensive end, man.
Beginning of the year and then kind of flattened out a little bit, but then again, he was probably playing more than he expected, with injuries. So yeah, no, like I've always said, with cornerbacks and edge rushers, you can never have enough because they always get hurt.
Hell yeah. Was that all you had for defense, Darian? I don't mean all you had, but were you wrapped up before we move on?
Yeah, that's mostly what I had on defense that really stood out to me from the draft because I really didn't get a chance to do the offensive side of scouting combine, but I did see some of the defense, and those people stood out to me that I think they'll fit for the Raiders defensively with our scheme.
All right, man. Well said. Thank you. All right, Watts Raider, man. Defense. I know you've been waiting patiently. Thanks, man.
Oh, it's all good. Can y'all hear me?
Yeah, we got you.
All right, cool. I'm gonna start at linebacker, of course. We already know the top 3. I pretty much want Murray though. It's just something about Murray that I think he would bring to the defense. He got speed. He can tackle. He's smart. He communicate. With his teammates on the field. He knows how to read the quarterback. I just think he's a really good prospect at linebacker. But any one of those 3, like Queen or Simmons or Murray, I would take. I got a second group of linebackers though. That you probably could get maybe in the later rounds. We got Phillips from LSU, the other linebacker, Phillips. I always like Quarterman from Miami.
Yeah.
Something about him. I mean, he just got a nice motor and he can tackle. He got some speed too, little speed. Malik Harrison,
Dude,
Ohio State.
That's the man right there.
I was checking him out.
One right there.
I was checking him out too. These some outside guys right here. Maybe like lower rounds. Jordan Brooks and Jordan Mack.
Yeah.
Jordan Mack from Virginia. Middle linebacker though. All these are middle linebacker. Outside linebacker. I really like Zach Bond, Wisconsin. I think he can play on the edge too.
Very underrated back in his draft. Very underrated.
and he's quick.
Yeah, he's
He's
fast.
really quick. I like Uche from Michigan. I like Uche a little bit. And Jennings from Alabama. Jennings. I think his first name is Anthony Jennings.
The one thing, you're going back to Harrison. Harrison's like 6'3", 250, and he ran a 4.
I think it was like a 4.6 or 4.5.
40. Yeah, he's
Yep.
fast.
Got 10-inch hands too, dude. He's got the big hands, sure tackling. I think he's led Ohio State 2 years in a row in tackling, I think.
Yeah, he got 205 the last 2 seasons.
I like him. I like Harrison. I think maybe you could get him maybe in the 3rd round, maybe.
Yeah, he'll. The thing is like we've talked about this before, is that the inside linebacker is kind of like, it's not that big of a position anymore, but it is for the Raiders.
Right.
You know, a lot of people don't use that inside linebacker as the captain anymore. You see a lot of outside linebackers, stuff like that. So unfortunately, though, that might hurt us because you could see a lot of people picking inside linebackers as quick as possible. But I think if we look at the 3rd round or something, I think that's where you get to the Harrison part. I really think he has the Raider intangibles. He's fast and he's big.
Right, definitely. I'm gonna get the cornerback. I'm Diggs and Henderson. Those are the 2 ones that I like the most. Diggs and CJ Henderson. Those are the cornerbacks I like the most.
Where did Diggs play?
Diggs plays for Alabama. Cornerback.
Oh, okay. What round is he projected in?
He's probably gonna go in the
late first round.
Yeah, it's like late 1st, 2nd.
Okay.
Yeah.
He might drop a little bit only because he did not run very fast for him.
Yeah,
he was kind of slow, actually. He ran like a 4.55, but some people were saying it was as slow as 4.6 or 4.6.5. So he might be able to drop, but then again, you get the right coaches with him, he could turn into a monster.
Right. Okay. I like Fulton from LSU. Fulton. I like Damon Arnett though. He kind of short, but I like his ball skills. I like his aggressiveness.
Mm-hmm.
I like how he plays too. He would be a great slot.
Have always been good, except for Gary
cornerback too.
Yeah,
you're right. Outside player like on the bubble that will have potential maybe later. I think his name is Danzler from Mississippi State. I think his name is Danzler. I think that's how you pronounce it. He's a cornerback. He tall. Got some speed.
Cameron Danzler.
Yeah, Cameron Danzler. Yeah,
I didn't write the college down, but I wrote his name. Cornerbacks was the one I was able to spend some time on, but he ran like I think a 4.4 40 or something like that.
Yeah,
that's speed. And I like AJ Terrell too a little bit. Clemson. Free safety. It's only 2 free safeties that I like. I like Ashton Davis and I like Brandon Jones from Texas. Those are the 2 safeties that I like. I like Davis. He got height. He got speed. He can read the plays. He's always helping the corners. Brandon Jones, aggressive, can tackle. He makes players fumble. They just have that little extra, on defense, that aggressiveness. We're trying to take the ball away, man. We need to get some players who want to.
We need some turnovers.
Yeah.
So those 2. Strong safety, like you mentioned, Duggar. He's an interesting prospect. I think with the right coaches. I think even with having Marinelli, I think if we bring in somebody like him, we could build him up into a good player.
Mm-hmm.
I was looking in the wrong spot for Duggar. They have Duggar, and I have Duggar ranked 4th overall at safety.
Damn.
So he's probably going to get picked high. Second round. But the small school might have him drift back a little bit.
That's what I was saying about probably about 5th or 6th round because of the D2 school, not just because of the talent. He was working his way up at the Senior Bowl, but it's still a D2 school. He didn't go up against those top notch schools, so it might drift
he was
back
the biggest,
to like
he
the
was
4th
the
or the
biggest,
5th.
He was bigger than some of the wide receivers that he was playing against.
Yeah.
So One more strong safety. Kind of short, but he a playmaker. I like Winfield Jr.
Yeah.
Playmaker. And he returned kicks.
And his father was a great cornerback.
Yeah, play for the Vikings.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
So those are my players on defense, man. I hope we pick at least one of these cats, maybe two, and I'll be happy.
Right.
They'll get a linebacker in the 7th round. Don't worry.
Oh man, we need to take Murray. If he there, we need to
I
take
know.
him.
Yeah, hey, he's a good all-around linebacker, man. I mean, Murray, Queen. I mean, I do like this linebacker class, man. These are good, serviceable guys, man. That rangy linebackers, man.
The one guy that I saw at cornerback that just screamed Oakland Raiders to me was that kid from Notre Dame, the Troy Pride Jr.
Oh,
He ran like
yeah.
a 4.3. I was like, oh, he's going to be a Raider because he ran a 4.3. Yeah,
It was a
Notre
4.3.
Dame got a
Damn.
couple good players on defense.
4.35.
That was one of the guys I was going to ask you about that I had on my list that I have like 1 star, and like his hips, like when he moved, just looked smooth, man. Like when he transitioned, man, like it was like he just glided, dude. And that's when you have a guy like Tyreek Hill and you're backpedaling, like you have to be able to make that transition very smooth, so you don't get smoked. And then obviously have the wheels to stick with them. But what was it about Troy Pride that you liked, and what round is he projected to go in?
He's projected to go in the 4th, which
okay,
I'm not surprised because the problem is Notre Dame, they really don't have a lot of prospects that do well. They do good at tight end, offensive linemen they do well, but the defensive players you don't see many having success in the NFL, and I think that's why he dropped. But it might be a good thing. I mean, he drops to the 4th round of the Raiders. I mean, the thing is, the Raiders pretty much on defense need anything. And just, whenever you see a guy run a fast 40, you always think Al Davis. And you're like, of course they're going to take him. I could just see Mark Davis overriding all of them and say, nope, we're taking Pride Jr. because he's fast. But he's actually ranked kind of low for his speed and his, it's how well he plays.
I love it, man. Circle Troy Pride, 3rd, 4th round. You never know.
I love it. I like it. I like it.
Man.
Hey, I can't remember. Is it? Don't we have another round besides the 2nd? We don't have a pick in. Is it the 5th round? Didn't we trade? Huh?
I thought we got that 5th round pick back.
Got a 4th and a 5th round.
Yeah, I know we got a 4th round. We got the 3/3. I think we have 8 total picks, right? So we have.
I think we got our 5th round pick back. I'm not too sure.
We got it back.
Maybe it's the 6th. I'm thinking. I can't remember. I'll have to look it up.
7th, I don't think.
We're all like,
yeah. This year, believe it or not, this year, everywhere I go and check, every mock draft is different as far as where the Raiders are picking in the later rounds.
Oh, I know.
Everywhere I go, it's like one site will show a 7th round pick, one will show a 5th round pick, and it's like for a minute they had that 4th round pick missing. So yeah, it remains to be seen, man. Until when we get closer, I think hopefully we get a little bit more.
But
yeah,
in the 3rd round. Those first 2 picks in the 3rd round are back-to-back picks.
Yep.
Yes.
So until we get past the 3rd round, we got to hit on every pick.
Yeah.
And we'll be fine.
I didn't say it earlier. I forgot to say it when we were talking about offense just because I was thinking of moving on. But Reese Rock, I wanted to say what's up. He was pounding the table at Jalen Hurts. And, honestly, I would not be opposed because we don't have a 2nd round pick. Even if we had to trade, use some of our capital to trade up, and I don't mean a whole lot, but maybe it's something for out of next year's draft, but something to move up in the 2nd if we have to get Jalen Hurts. If he falls to us in the 3rd, I'd love that, but I'd really like to, possibly be in contention to get Hurts, even if it means to move up in the 2nd.
You might not make it to the 3rd.
That's what I'm saying, but that's what I'm saying. We may have to trade up in the 2nd. So trade one of your 3rds and something else for maybe next year, and then move up. But
I'll do that.
Big Tuna, I want to hear your takes on defense, brother, and we'll move on to Raider Dave.
So before we get into that, we don't, for some reason, I don't know why this hasn't updated, but it does say we have 2 1st rounders, 3 3rd rounders, 4th round, and the 7th round.
Oh, so we got a 5th round too.
Yeah, I knew we had a
which site is showing that? I'm just curious because
just blogbaby.com.
Yeah, but you guys got to think we got a wide receiver, and then we traded like a 5th or 6th to get him, and then we got another wide receiver this year that we traded. But then I thought we got something back for the punter that we gave the Bears.
Yeah,
I thought
and
we traded with like the Jets or something to get a 5th round pick or something like that. I'm not too sure.
I know we traded away our 5th to get Zay Jones too.
Yep.
We traded away, what's his name? We got homeboy from
the Packers.
From Packers too. So I know but each one of those were 5ths, I think, that they gave up.
Yeah,
for those
I
guys.
know we got it back.
He
and
got cut
again, right?
we also
I know that.
we had a ton of picks upcoming this year, and we did trade away 2 of them.
Yeah.
So, anyways, but
can I say something real quick? My buddy just texted me. He said 9 days till March 16th, just so y'all know. Free agency, baby. Free agency. We're right around the corner.
Yeah.
yeah. All right, man.
Let's go get Corey Littleton.
That's right. Hey, that's right.
Save free agency, man. Let's move on. Let's get this one done, and then we'll we talk about free agency next week, man. Right before it, and then we'll be moving on to what the hell do the Raiders do and why?
Now we're gonna have a show called "No Stupid Decisions."
Yeah.
Right.
No burning jerseys, man. Don't get macked, Raider Nation.
Yeah.
Don't get macked. No matter what happens. All right, Big Tuna, dude. I know you got some takes on defense. I was curious to get your take on this.
A lot of them we talked about. I had Harrison was a big star for me. Stanford Samuel III out of Florida State. Guy's 6'2", 185. We ran a 4.45.
What position?
Defensive back.
Okay.
They've got him ranked in like the 5th round, and I was like, I think that's a steal if we get him in the 5th round. And the one that I heard about a lot was his name is Akeem Davis Gaither. He's an outside linebacker from Appalachian State.
All right.
He's small, but they compare him to if you remember Buchanan from the Arizona Cardinals, where he could play linebacker, cornerback, or safety, and he was good all the way around there. And then Alawale Betiku, I think his name is Betiku. He's a defensive end for Illinois. He didn't start playing football.
Oh,
yeah.
I know who you're talking about.
Until he didn't start playing football until his junior year, and in his junior year, he turned into a 5-star recruit. So he's got a lot of raw potential.
I remember that. Yep.
Yeah.
He's like real tall.
He was born. I think he was born in Somali or something like that. I'm not 100% sure. But he had 9 sacks last year, and the big thing for him is that he can play either 4-3 or 3-4. So it's just, and the big names out there, I mean, they're the big names, but everyone knows this is where you get your meat and potatoes in the last rounds, because that's where you're going to get your guys that could turn into like a Trayvon Mullen, because I am on the side of Trayvon Mullen is a number 1, and he is one of the best picks we had because he's a man coverage.
Yes, he is. Yes, he is.
Yeah.
That's the one thing that people don't understand about the Raiders is that, we've run the same system. We've ran the same system forever. It's always been deep ball, man-to-man coverage on the defense, and that's the big thing. Inside linebacker, I like Harrison. I don't think that we'll be able to get Murray, and Murray is too small for me on Oklahoma. He's 6'2", 234. I mean, I looked at it compared to like Ray Lewis. Ray Lewis was 6'1", 252. And it's like he's got to gain a lot of weight to get up there to be an inside linebacker,
You think you can move him, though?
What's that?
You think you could move him to outside?
The thing is, though, is like I was saying before, we need that inside linebacker presence because that's what we need. I mean,
what if –
I don't know. They might re-sign Burfitt. I don't know.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. What if we got Burfitt, and I'm not trying to cut you off or steal anybody's take, but what if we got, and I know this isn't the free agency thing, but just theoretically, like just your opinion on scheme.
Isn't Littleton an outside linebacker too?
He's the inside linebacker in the 3-4 with Wade
Yeah.
Phillips.
So
Yeah. But
What
he's
if we-
rangy. He's rangy though. He's sideline to sideline.
I think that
What if we signed? Hold on. What if we signed a free agent,
Yeah.
like inside linebacker or outside? Okay, get perfect, but knowing that he's probably going to be with you a game or two. Okay, and then bring in a young talent, like a stud, like a Murray. Could you bump Murray to outside to cover the tight ends? Because I'm just thinking, no matter what, I'm thinking tight ends. I'm like, who's got the speed and the height to cover tight ends? Would that theoretically work?
I mean,
You
he can
think?
get his weight up from 234 to at least.
Oh, of course.
But we
One
need that
thing
speed to cover Noah Fant
Yeah.
and Travis Kelce is what I'm thinking. You know,
I
we
don't
need-
think we have that.
and as much as I like Joseph and some of our other guys, they just ain't got the speed.Maybe Abram, but I don't know. Abram's not the fastest guy either. We need some tall dude with speed to cover some linebackers.
That's why
that's if we can't get
Harrison's the right pick because he's 6'3" and he ran a 4.55.
Who
Yep.
did?
And he's almost 250. He's like 245, right?
Harrison from Ohio State. I've always been
Okay.
He's big. He's a sure tackler.
You need the one thing, and Mike Mayock said that I think last year is that you look at the teams that win. You got to pick from Clemson. You got to pick from Alabama. Ohio State's a big one. There's some schools that you should avoid, but we don't know what Abram's going to bring to us. I really think that Carl Joseph is going to get re-signed. That's what I'm hoping.
I'm big on that too.
Yeah, and
big on that.
If Joyner stays, the safeties are fine. Keep adding depth at cornerback. There is so many that could be taken because all the ones we look at with the big names, like we might sign one, we might draft one of them, but just be on the outlook for Dane Jackson from Pittsburgh or Harrison Hand from Temple.
I like what's my boy from West Virginia, man? He a cornerback.
From where?
West Virginia.
I mean, not West Virginia, from Virginia.
Virginia.
Yeah.
But one thing in regards to linebacker, though, I just want to say is I think ultimately when Paul Gunther gets the defense that suits his scheme, I think we're going to be rolling with two linebackers, to be honest. And I think we're going to be having that fifth defensive back out there. We saw it a lot last year. And it is finding that one right linebacker to cover tight end. But number one, too, what's big to me, stopping the run first in the NFL. And that's why I'm big on Carl Joseph. He's a run stuffer.
Yeah.
You got to take that phase of the game out and stop the run. That's why I'm all about sure tacklers, all that. And then, hopefully their coverage develops in the NFL and they can cover, across the middle of the field as well. But yeah, I think taking out the run game is a priority.
It's our linebackers to help Joseph too, because that's what we've been weak at, knowing that our linebackers are always out of place or misplaced when it comes to the cutbacks, and we need those linebackers to actually stay on point. So even
because look, it's been a lot of plays where Carl Joseph has to come in and make the tackle, but guess who's right there? Whitehead's right there. He's right there, but he's not there.
Yeah,
so Carl Joseph got to come make that tackle.
The thing that sucks about the technology and everything that we love now is that before Carl Joseph got hurt, he was the number one rated defensive back against the run, and now everybody knows that. So it's like his price is going to keep going up and up and up. It's just that's the one thing that stinks about the new technology is they find that stuff out. Like you said, he was there all the time with the run. And it's just
he was almost better covering the run than the pass.
That's the thing.
That's true. That's very true.
Mean, and you know what? Just to make a point on something Raider Dave said, I think you're 100% correct on the scheme fit for the Raiders. Having two linebackers, especially if you go up against the Chiefs, when they have that much speed, we got to figure out a way to have more speed and more depth in the deep field, so we're not getting burned, man. They're going to score like 50 points on us with that kind of defense that we have.
You got to cut guys off. You got to cut them off. You got to be able to cut them off.
Yeah.
And I think part of that is matching up a safety on a tight end a lot of the time, versus a linebacker.
If you're going to do that, as much as I love Carl Joseph and, respect to Marcus Joyner, even if it's maybe not the best pickup from last year, but we're stuck with what we got. They're not going to get it done. The only person that might be able to cover a Kelce is maybe Abram. But I have zero confidence in Joseph. We've seen for years Joseph get burned by tight ends. So we have to figure out if we keep Joseph, like you guys are saying, and that's more a free agency thing, we got to figure out a different way to be able to compete against these taller tight ends that, it's like when I was a kid, dude, my brothers had the basketball and they just hold it up. And I'm like this. So I can't get it, That's like, we need some height, dude. And like, I know that sounds mean. I'm a short guy. I'm not that tall, but we need some height or some guys that can jump like 6 feet in the air, like Michael Jordan, dude. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And if we don't have that, even if we cover the back end against Hill and Hardman and Sammy Watkins, the tight end's going to be open and they're going to start dumping it, and then we're going to bite on the dumps, and then we're going to get beat deep for a 99-yard touchdown or something crazy, So, but anyway, so was that all you had for defense, Big Tuna?
Yeah, no. The only thing I want to say is that, like, I really trust Mike Mayock. Like, I've never been like when Al Davis was drafting. I remember where I was when he drafted Hayward Bay when they had Crabtree sitting there.
Oh, man.
I'll never forget that any day of my life. But I really trust Mike Mayock to bring in the right guys, because it seems like he kind of knows what he's doing, and he did it for so long. With the NFL Network, we could look at everything, but because no one had Pharrell going 4th overall, but now it's like a decent pick.
Yeah, that was very unexpected.
But it turned out to be a decent thing.
Yeah,
he knows the players, and he's bringing in the right guys. He's trying to, and once again with Abram, we don't know what we have yet there, so we might be fine. So
4.4 speed from Abram, and he can lay the wood, man.
So,
he'll send the message.
That's true.
Unfortunately, it's you gotta trust the process and just hope that they don't try to reach for something, because it hasn't seemed like they've done it except for Pharrell.
You're sounding like
that only reached me.
I don't want to trust the process, Coach. No. Shout out to Fierce 88, Raider 88. He was saying about Simmons would be like legit to shut down Kelsey, and I agree, man. I mean, Isaiah Simmons would be the perfect fit for this team. Exactly what we need, 110%. But I'm not convinced that he's going to fall to us at 12, and what we'd have to give up to move up to get him. I don't know. I personally feel that we'd have to give up too much when we have still too many other holes on the team. The only way I could see us giving up the draft capital to move up to get Simmons and give up some of the trade compensation, like if, say, it was both first rounds, is if we got enough in free agency where it didn't matter as much. I mean, it's still going to matter. But to me, like when we have still enough holes to where the team's at, I can't see us giving up the kitchen sink for Isaiah Simmons, even if he's going to be like the next greatest thing since sliced bread. So I'm not disagreeing with you, Fierce, but I just can't see how we would be able to move up to get Simmons unless a miracle happened. Everybody gets crazy getting wide receivers, offensive linemen, quarterbacks, and somehow Simmons falls to us. Or maybe we only have to trade up a spot or two. Then I could see that.
Though.
Giving up like 2 first rounds, a third round, or 2 third rounds, and 2 first rounds to move up to get Simmons, that's a hard pill for me to swallow. So, now if we had a bunch of other talent on the team where, hey man, we're only a couple players away, then so be it. But like, we need a quarterback, in my opinion, at least a backup quarterback. We need a wide receiver or 2. We need a cornerback or 2, maybe a safety. We need a linebacker or 2. I mean, there's still so many holes.
We got a lot of holes on the roster.
We only got really like one solid cornerback, really.
And all the rest of them are free agents. So it's like you got to bring in.
Yeah,
you're gonna have to bring in like those 1-year guys, unfortunately. But that's what makes the NFL go.
Honestly, I would love to bring in a veteran corner and then draft a few corners just to have that veteran and be that leader in that back end. Because that's what I think we're lacking. I think LaMarcus Joyner, he's not a leader type of person. We need someone that could actually be vocal to these corners, knowing that Muller he's going into his second year. I think we should get rid of Worley. That's just my personal opinion. And I feel like we should go. If we have corners out there that we can get at a nice budget, but they could be a veteran, but still in a prime at the same time, and still get them at a small budget.
Is it Akeem Talib going to be a free agent?
Yeah,
I don't want to get on
he's like 34, I think, though.
Nah,
I mean,
I
I
wouldn't
don't
go.
know. You never know. I don't know, but there's going to be some guys, Byron Jones. There's going to be some guys that we might.
Well,
we
if
might
we get Byron
get a
Jones,
guy.
we're gonna
That's
have to
probably-
Abram's the leader of that back end. I mean, make no question about it. Whether he's going to be a 5-star player or a 2-star player, I mean, we'll see. Whether he's going to be a captain or not, he's going to take reins by the horns. I mean, he's just an alpha dog, dude. You know what I mean? And that's what this defense has needed for a long time. I mean, let's just face it. The fact of the matter is, as much as we love Khalil Mack, he was an alpha dog for himself, and he led by example. But he was not the leader to lead this defense for what being a Raider, and I'm not saying he wasn't a Raider, but for what being a Raider was or is to lead our defense. You know, we need a guy like a Perfect on the front end. We need a guy like Abram on the back end that can communicate with each other and to get the team fired up, just like Ray Lewis and Ed Reed for the Ravens. But you know, let's move on. Raider Dave, man, I want to hear your takes on defense, and we're almost done here, so we're about ready to wrap it up. And yes, Fierce Raider 88, if he fell to us, there's no fucking way you pass on Isaiah Simmons, dude. No way. It don't matter if you want to CeeDee Lamb or whatever. In my opinion, if Isaiah Simmons is there, absolutely, you pull the trigger on Isaiah Simmons before any quarterback, any wide receiver, any defensive lineman, and you get that guy because you can build the other spots later on.
Yeah.
Well said, and much respect, Pierce.
And I'm just going to jump right off that subject right there, and we're going to go number 12 overall, Isaiah Simmons, falling to the Las Vegas Raiders, man, because I'm telling you, these tackles tested like insane in this combine. I think 4 offensive tackles could go in the top 11, and I think there's a need for these prototype left tackle, right tackle, whatever you want to call them, or whatever they become in the NFL. The Chargers need one. The Browns need one. Who knows with the Cardinals? Maybe they get a wide receiver, but I got 4 quarterbacks going in the top. We'll just say top 12. 4 quarterbacks, 4 offensive tackles, and a corner. Probably, you know, Kuda's probably going to go in that top 10. You know, the cornerback out of we've seen Denzel Ward drafted in the top 5. You know it.
So that means that's one player that gotta go, and then Simmons will be right there.
And then factor in freaking Chase Young from Ohio State.
Yeah.
Right.
You know, I just really think that the way these chips can fall and the demand, how bad do these other teams need Isaiah Simmons? How bad do they need Isaiah Simmons? I see bigger needs for these teams, man, whether it be quarterback, whether it be offensive tackle, getting that defense. I mean, Detroit's a question mark. Who is Detroit going to trade out? You know, I mean, it's crazy, man. And I know I've been stuck on this for like a month. Like, dude, I think even after he ran that 40, man, and everybody's like, oh, he's going top 5. He is a top 5 pick. You know, Roquan Smith went 8th overall a couple of years back. You had freaking Devin White last year go 6th overall. Mm-hmm. I just think it's feasible. I think it's feasible, man, that it could happen, that Isaiah Simmons falls. So I'm banking off that. And then he fills that need. Not only does he have the unique size, speed, and all that, and it gives us everything we need at the linebacker, something what we've waited forever for. I think that could happen. So that's my DD. I'm just going to call it. I'm not your designated driver. I'm your delusional Dave. You know, but so I'm a little delusional on it. You could give me that on that, but
I hope you're right.
I'm hoping I'm right, and I'm gonna lean on, man. I mean, offensive tackle, quarterbacks. I mean, it's there this year. Yeah. We didn't see that last year. I mean, and Daniel Jones even creeped up in that thing, man. Daniel Jones came out of nowhere, Senior Bowl guy.
That was the most shocking pick of the first round.
Yeah, you know, and then you know, Cleveland Farrell with us, you know. I mean, so the way these things work.
Thank God.
Yeah, you know, and the way these tables turn, man. I mean, you know, so overall, I'm just going to leave it at that. You know, I mean, I'm banking on that. But Malik Harrison, just like you guys have all said, I love the guy, man. I think he's every bit. I don't know why he is projected in the 3rd round. He's second round talent, if you ask me. But we've seen linebackers slip. Homeboy last year from Alabama, who was a projected first, second round pick, slipped all the way to the 5th last year. Can't remember. I don't know why I brain farted his name, but other than that, man, I'm still big on getting a defensive tackle. I like Raekwon Davis from Alabama, man. I think that guy's got a high motor. He's a pocket breaker, so I'm big on getting a defensive tackle. I think you can never stop adding, you know, edge rusher or defensive tackle, shoring up your front 7. The biggest hole being linebacker. Like I said, we filled that need with Isaiah Simmons. But now it's safety, man. Now, Tuna, you tell me where you got this guy ranked, because I might be reaching here. Jordan Fuller, dude, Ohio State. What do you think of the kid? Some got him in the 7th round, man, or 6th round.
God,
I
yeah.
love this kid, man.
He's really low.
Yeah, I don't know why, man. I love the dude. This guy, he's the team
position?
captain. Team captain 2018, 2019.
What position?
Safety.
Safety. Yeah. Jordan Fuller, man. If you guys catch his highlights, man, they are insane. Ohio State's a team like we were talking about, like the Georgia teams, the Alabama teams, Clemson. You know, these are the teams you build your professional football team around. Ohio State's a team I fell in love with this year, man. I just felt like, in a way, you could say they were robbed in their bowl game. Huh?
Defensively, they was really good.
But I like Dobbin too. Dobbins, the running back. I like him too, man.
Yeah. No, that's funny you say that because I just crossed out him at 19 and moved him up to 8. Jordan.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
So he's,
dude, let me see. I didn't write his measurables down, man, but
6'2", 205, 4.57 40, but you don't have to be that fast as a safety. You already get a head start.
Yeah,
and
he takes good angles is what I saw.
I've got him going 3rd or 4th round.
And you can that's exactly where I have him. I have him pegged as a 3rd round pick. So, man, I'm real high on the kid, man. He gets after the quarterback, lays the wood when he gets in the backfield, good at stopping the run. He's a sure tackler. I don't know, man. That one just stuck out to me. Him and Raekwon Davis, man. I'm big on, continually build that front 7. I really think we have something with Trayvon Mullen, man. So I'm not going to reach too much on corner. I really think we got something there. He looked like, to me, as the season went on, he was shutting down one side of the field. It's only those 3 interceptions that he dropped, those were all pick sixes, man. So it's only a matter of time before we start seeing defensive scores. But Lamar Jackson, the corner from Nebraska, is another one that I glued to, man, with the long arms, good coverage.
Lamar Jackson?
Yeah, he's got this. Yeah, Lamar. He's from Nebraska, though. He's the cornerback from Nebraska. But yeah, man, he's got the long arms. Looks like a good press man cover to me. But yeah, man, that's pretty much my sleeper there. Let me see. But yeah, overall, I just, like I said, I think, without, we don't know if the Raiders are going to get Byron Jones in free agency. So if they get Byron Jones, you got Trayvon Mullen, and also going back to even what's his name, Jonathan Abram. 4.4 speed, like the way we only saw one game with the Bronco game, but he took nice angles, man. I thought he took nice angles at the right time, getting us off the field on 3rd down. So I definitely think with Jonathan Abram going in the 2nd year, you got a hitter, all that, man. But if we could re-sign Carl Joseph, him being a drafted player by the Raiders, I'd like to see that. But once again, with plenty of defensive talent in this draft, man, and it's deep, man. So the undrafted class is a whole nother story, man.
Exactly.
So yeah, man. But I know it's been crazy, man. And trust me, I've been really thinking that through with Isaiah Simmons at number 12. It's just something that really stands out to me that we might see some reach picks, and who knows how a Jacob Eason might even rise in this draft, but I can definitely see Herbert going, Tua, Burrow's going to be gone. And then you got Jordan Love, man, who's rising as well. So it's going to be one hell of a 1st round, man. Hopefully I got to be disciplined because I'm going to be in Vegas that day, man. So I got to be disciplined, no drinking, man, because I don't want to get too ahead of myself, but man, it's going to be crazy.
The Raiders might trade one of their 1st round picks, move back a bit, and get a 2nd round pick, and then get.
I'm all about that.
Or something. So
the thing too is that I think teams are going to trade up for those quarterbacks. I think that a lot of like what you're
right.
saying. Yeah. It's just it's especially with Eason, grading out like he did. You got something like happened 3 years ago with like. I forgot who went number 1, but like Pat Mahomes, Deshaun Watson, they all got traded up to get, you know what I'm saying? So I honestly, the only one I don't like out of those quarterbacks is Tua, but I don't think it's a real miss if any of those guys trade up. And like you said, Isaiah Simmons might drop just because of that.
Exactly, man. So that's my thing is like, who's going to so Isaiah Simmons, who is going to trade up to get Isaiah Simmons? We would be the team ideally because we have the biggest need at linebacker, but these other teams and their needs What are they going to trade up? Get quarterbacks? Is any team going to go for a corner? I mean, you got defensive. We got Derek Brown. I didn't even bring up Derek Brown. He could be a top 10 pick. The kid out of Auburn. I mean, defensive tackle's a high demand.
Auburn. He's a monster.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I love what Auburn's been doing. They've been putting out some good pro football players the last couple of years. You know, I've even reached myself on, Kerryon Johnson was one I was locked in. I know he's a running back, but, I like what these programs are doing. I like what we're seeing at the college level, how it's translating into the NFL. It just seems like right now we have a lot of talented, good players entering this league, man. And we saw that last year with the undrafted class.
Here's what I'm saying, dude. Like when we were kind of opening this discussion up, imagine if we got like a Corey Littleton, Isaiah Simmons, Vontaze Burfict, and then we get like a Byron Jones or something, dude. Like we just flipped our defense around over fucking night, dude, to be like maybe top 10. I don't want to say top 5 yet, but like, you know what I mean? Like we would be a competitive team defensively with some characters like that, man, and perfect. You have to, again, you have to, weigh the good with the bad and all that. But like, you never know. Like there could be something. I mean, Markel Lee, we haven't seen enough to know if he's a hit or a miss, really, in my opinion. I'm not saying he's going to be like a Ray Lewis style or whatever, but at the same time, if Perfect went out, maybe Lee could fill in and be comparable. I mean, he was battling injuries and all that stuff. And
or even Will Compton, man. Will Compton stepped in nice.
Yeah.
He stepped in nice.
I would love for them to re-sign Will Compton. I really like his play style.
The one thing I will say though, from because I read a lot of those magazines and all that stuff, like the biggest red flag, and I'm not hitting on you hardcore, but it's Tua. Everyone's saying that Tua is like the biggest red flag out of anybody, and someone's going to pick him. That's the thing, is someone's going to pick him. But it might be the Raiders. You never know.
I'm not saying you're wrong. I'm just saying my thinking is what if, which isn't very factual. It's more like a pipe dream. I'm just saying, what if the Raiders don't pick him and he ends up being like a Aaron Rodgers or like a Tom Brady or like a Brett Favre? You know what I mean? Like Raiders could have got Brett Favre, and who did we get? It was Jay Schrader or some shit.
Jay Schrader,
yeah. So you know what I'm saying? Like, what if he turns out to be that guy? You won't know until after the fact.
This one mock draft, and it's a lot. There's like a bunch of people, contributing to it. Everyone has Tua going to Miami, and that fits to me.
Right. I can see that. I can see that. Yeah.
Or you pick him. You pick him, and it's like a Bo Jackson, and you never see him again. I mean, I'm not saying Bo Jackson's career was like that. I'm just saying once he got hurt, we never seen him suit up again. And so, you know what I mean? Like, and he's a mobile quarterback, so he needs that hip. He needs his ankles. So like, I understand the concerns. I'm just saying that, like risk versus reward, if he was there and say Isaiah Simmons was gone or whatever, it would be hard for me, like just thinking about it, like if I put on my coach hat kind of thing, to not at least gamble. It would be a gamble. I mean, you're not, it's like shooting in the dark. You don't know, but like how could you not take a shot if he was there and you didn't have to move up or anything like that? So,
and at the end of the day, he's a Raider, and we're gonna love him no matter what.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Hell yeah. And he's a Mike. Right. Yeah. And whoever's a Mike Mayock pick, we're gonna love you no matter what, baby.
But I will say he is a lefty, and I don't like lefties, man. Anybody that's lefty, I don't. Hey. Oh wait, sorry, Dave. I'm sorry, I didn't see you there.
Hey man, we work hard over here to use our left hand and still have the emblem repping over here with the left hand, baby.
I was just kidding.
Shout out to hand stamping my freaking notes. Shout out to hand stamping my own notes when I'm writing.
Dave's a lefty, so I just wanted to fuck with you a bit. But we all know Kenny Stabler. Wasn't he a lefty, man, from Alabama?
Hell yeah,
so,
man.
What? Like, you never know, man. Things come full circle. But
hey, I love Tua though. I think he's gone in the top 5 though.
Yeah.
No, I
really do. I know you might be dropping in some and all that, but I really do think he's top 5 talent, and
it just seems like Miami's the good fit for him. Like that's
I agree.
And I know they tried to show no interest. Miami, they did, so I didn't have him on my mock. But I think Tua, who knows? Maybe a team trades up for him because it's risk reward.
The problem
it's risk reward.
The Patriots. It'll probably be the Patriots. Oh God,
the
please.
Thing that's
they'll end up being the Patriots will have another 20-year dynasty.
Yeah. But the thing is, too, is that the Chargers are right next, so maybe the Chargers pick him. Imagine going against him too. You know what I'm saying? Hopefully, he doesn't turn out if he's a Charger.
Yeah,
There's a lot of teams that need quarterbacks in the first 10 picks.
that's true.
Dude, can I give a shout out to the chat real quick? Just real quick, the Metal Vault, bro. I gotta reread this. Dude, this is great.
Yeah, definitely.
This is great. Where was
VD was in here. VD said, "What's up, Watts?" So I wanted to let you know that Sanjoku, Jules Alive.
Oh yeah, what's up, man?
Yo, right here, real quick though. Shout out to Metal Vault in this comment. I'm glad I'm reaching on Isaiah Simmons because he put it like this. Yo, if Simmons drops to us, I will squirt like a chick. Laugh out loud. Dude, that is down. I love that. Give me some of that, dude, right there, baby. Hell yeah. Hey, that's what we want.
I think that what might happen, man. I think at 12.
Isn't that crazy? Hey,
we got
Raider Navy pulling Isaiah Simmons out of left field at number 12, baby. Everybody's got him top 5. I know. Hey, man, it's a reach pick, but you never know, man. This is going to be one. And like I said, this is just an interesting era that we're entering, man. There's a pro football team in Las Vegas. The draft is going to be in Las Vegas. Las Vegas says this is going to be bigger than New Year's. I cannot wait.
Like I always say is just hopefully the Raiders aren't the idiots at number 12. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
right.
You know?
Well, we can't reach at 12. We just can't. You know what I mean? Because a good player, a good playmaker, a good defender is gonna fall. Hey,
it's gonna be one sitting right there, so we shouldn't reach.
Exactly. I mean, I'm okay pretty much with any talent level at that. I mean, any of the 5 wide receivers we've talked about in the first round, totally down with. I'm down with any one of those linebackers, man. Whether it be Queen, Murray. Yeah. Either way, you can't. I mean, these are good. This is a good draft class. This is one of the better draft classes I've ever seen, man, to be honest.
Yeah, definitely. Well, you guys definitely did your homework. You guys had some great guys, for everybody to kind of pay attention to. Got my brain thinking. I'm sure you got some others thinking. So, tip my hat to you guys. Thank you guys for doing that. I had 2 guys I just wanted to ask you about real quick. AJ Terrell, cornerback out of Clemson. He's projected for the first round, right? Big Tuna. Yeah, he was a guy that looked like he had questionable hands, but I put 3 stars next to him because I really liked some of the stuff I was seeing for him at the combine. But then another guy that's not as big named was Harrison Hand, who had really good hands, ironically. But
there's one receiver I forgot to mention. One receiver that I was looking at.
What round, or what do you know about Harrison Hand, and what round is he projected in? Big Tuna, cornerback.
The cornerback. Hold on.
Sorry, I meant to.
No, you're good, buddy. Harrison Hand is projecting the 4th. He's fast and he's tall. He's 6 foot, probably they said closer to 6'1", 192, and a 4.40 40.
Okay. Yeah, he was because I was trying to look for guys like 3rd, 4th round, and so Harrison Hand, that's a guy that I was interested in. And all right, Watts, what were you gonna say, and then we'll close out.
Oh, I just want to mention a receiver that I left out.
Okay.
Denzel Mims from Baylor.
Okay. Yeah. I remember seeing some stuff on him. What round is he projected in?
I mean, maybe the 2nd, maybe.
Okay.
Maybe.
All right.
6'3", he can run. Got good hands. I like him too, as a receiver.
No, he's ranked really low.
Really low? Low?
Yeah.
Well, because there's so many. There's like 25.
So many, yeah.
There's a lot of receivers.
25 projected
there's going to be a lot of guys.
3 rounds or something, or 27 in the first 3 rounds.
I could get him maybe in the 4th round or something, maybe 3rd, 4th
like
round.
You're saying, there's so many that are going to get picked in the
some wide receivers are going to fall to the 3rd round that are probably a 1st or 2nd round guys, or projected. You never know until they're in the NFL. So
that's
AKA Darius Harrod-Bay. He was an all-star Hall of Famer.
I'm sorry, but I still like him.
He actually had a good career too. Yeah. He wasn't like he busted out of the NFL. I mean, he ended up playing for. But Al Davis.
He would have been great. He would have been great had he had some stickum. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's all I know.
And I forget who we passed on. We actually passed on a good receiver that year. Yeah, we passed on Crabtree that year. Who knows how? Yep. Yep.
We've passed on a lot of players. I'm glad we have Mike Mayock, but hey, I'm sorry this show took so long, guys. It's my fault for maybe adding too much stuff, but we'll definitely shorten it up next week. We're still getting the lineup for next week. As of now, It's looking like hopefully Chris Wysong's going to join us, Monster Mash Ken, Captain Jack, and then we're working out the rest of the lineup. So we are going to have to rotate some guys. I haven't gotten with all you guys yet, but I got to figure out how we're going to rotate and stuff. But I'm doing the best I can to get everybody in, and I definitely want to. We're going to be doing shows for the next couple weeks until free agency ends, and so no matter what, we're going to be rotating guys in and out, and we'll definitely I'll try to team up everybody so everybody's getting getting on here. We get to chop it up and stuff, and we'll keep bringing it. So with that being said, why don't you guys give your closing statements, and let's start with not Watts, because he just popped out. Big Tuna, man, give your closing statement, brother.
You can always check me out at Bigger and Bradder Sports, and it's not Bigger and Better, it's Bigger and Bradder, BRADDER.
But it is better than others, so
yeah. I'm also on Twitter at Big Tuna BBS. We're also on Instagram at Bigger and Bradder Sports, all one word. And hey, this has turned into the best time of the year, March Madness and free agent football.
Nice.
And like I said, I'll have a preview show about free agency, all that stuff. I'm still working on that. Took a long time to do the college stuff. But like I said, hopefully the Raiders don't go crazy. I excluded Byron Jones. I would like Byron Jones. But other than that, go Raiders. Everything's going to be good. I got a really good feeling about this year.
Awesome, man. Well, I appreciate you, dude. You did an awesome job breaking this down, dude. The show wouldn't have been the same without you. So thank you very much, dude, and much respect to you. And it's great to have you on again. And we'll see what we can get worked out down.
We'll see how wrong I was.
Are you there?
Picks.
We're all of us are always wrong, dude. Usually, it's so hard.
Crazy. It's crazy how much that we work on it.
Jacob, I was right about Jacobs last year. That's my pride.
I'm glad.
I can't wait for Jacobs in 2020.
Yeah.
Hell yeah. Watts, are you there, brother?
Yeah, man.
All right, give your closing statement, man. We're wrapping up here, so.
All right, well, I'm finna ride out and a night rider to the store, man. But I appreciate everybody coming on the show, man. Y'all know, we gonna link up, man, and keep it going. I'm just excited, man. I'm trying to get to the draft. It's not finalized, but if I get there, man, whoever's there, man, we're going to have a good time for them couple days. So I'm going to try to get on the next show. And I just appreciate everybody for tuning in and, coming together, man. You can check me out on YouTube, as usual, Watch Writer. Also on Instagram, Watch Writer, all lowercase. I'm going to try to get me a Twitter soon, man. People have been asking me, man, get a Twitter. So I got to come up with a name. And because my original account keep getting blocked for some reason. So I'm going to have to come up with a whole new name, I guess.
What's the Wolf Raider?
maybe, man, something, Yeah, that's pretty much all I got to say, man. Everybody have a blessed, weekend, good week. And hopefully we can come back together again.
Hell yeah, man. We're going to, like I was saying, I don't think you're in here, but we're going to keep rotating some guys in. I haven't decided on the exact lineup, but I'm going to do my best, get everybody some spots and some other cats, and we'll just keep it rolling. I'll shorten up the show. It's my fault. I take responsibility, but we'll get better, and appreciate you guys. So, Watts, dude, much respect, dude, and, I can't thank you enough. And we'll figure out how we're gonna get this lineup dialed in. We got a lot of guys that are wanting to join. I just gotta get it dialed in and get everybody's schedules to match up too. So, appreciate everybody. So thank you.
You know it.
All right, Raider Dave, man.
What's up, y'all? You can find me at Grimecast Media here on YouTube. Also upload some the audio content from the podcast on like Google Podcast and Spotify, so you can find it there as well. Do have the social media accounts. About to get back into the social media game. I kind of went ghost for a little bit, but I do like to post memes and fun, joke around, and have fun. But I also like to talk football. You know what I mean? So, but yeah, man, I'm just getting excited, man. I'm gonna be there at the draft, so whoever's there, man, let's link up, man. Stage Door Casino's supposed to be the spot, but Link Hotel, that's where we're all gonna be hanging, man. Bar hopping. And, man, I'm looking forward. It's going to be my first ever draft, so I'm just really looking forward to this year. It's just a whole new telling era, man, that I'm excited for. I'm embracing it and glad to be a part of this community here on YouTube and be a part of this podcast here with Hardcore and all you guys, man, because I do love to talk football. And, man, it's fun, man. That's what's fun. And then real quick prediction for Josh Jacobs this year. I think this is the year 2,000 all-purpose yards for Josh Jacobs in 2020. I'm excited, man. Let's get excited. Go Raiders.
Hell yeah, dude. I love it. 2,000 yards, man.
2,000 all-purpose yards, baby.
All-purpose.
Because they're going to use him as a receiver out of the backfield. Mike Mayock said it. I expect it. Let's get it dialed in, implement that in the playbook, and let's put the best weapon on offense in full gear. I'm ready.
Hell yeah. No, I'm ready to see it too, man. Well said. And much respect. Thank you for joining, dude.
Hey, much respect, brother.
All right, man. We got Darian Raider, man.
Yeah, Darian Raider's in the building, you know. So I have to say, it was a great show, and we all was like pinpointed, and it's like the collaboration was just great. The vibe was great. Everything was good about this show. So thank you for having me on. On my YouTube, it's just Silver and Black Podcast. Twitter is just S Black Podcast. Instagram is Silver and Black Podcast as well. If y'all do want to check out my other channel, which is Spotlight Sports Talk, y'all can go check that out on YouTube as well, and Twitter, Spotlight Sports Talk, as well. But at the end of the day, I'm happy that I was able to do this. I really don't get to do things like this with the Raider Nation. So it was really exciting for me to be here and collaborate with people that's very knowledgeable about our Raiders. So, hopefully I can probably get out to Vegas. I'm working on that as well. If I could get out there, that'll be my first time out there. So
good times, brother. Await. Good times.
I'm waiting. I want to bar hop in, everything. So yeah,
Raiders.
Go Raiders, man. Go Raiders, man. Let's go.
We're gonna mob that strip yelling Raiders, baby. I'm excited. Yeah. I'm excited.
Hell yeah, man. Well, hey, it was a pleasure to have you on, Darian, dude. You guys definitely check out his channel and everybody's channel on here. And we got a very short time before free agency, like Dave was saying. So we got some exciting times ahead. Darian, we'll definitely have you back on down the road, dude. We'll hit you up, man. We'll be doing this during the season and stuff. So, and that's the other reason, man, that like doing this, dude, we bring everybody from all cats, dude, all over the Raider Nation, worldwide, together, no matter what time zone you're in. And we're able to be a family, dude, right here. So, dude, nothing but respect. And I'm glad to have you on, dude. And I know what it's like to be a lone wolf sometimes, dude. And, so it's cool to get some love, so right. Much respect to you. And again, let's give a shout out to the chat real quick. Metal Volt, Fierce Raider 88, Jewels of Life. Scroll up here. Let's see who else. Vede, Sanjoku, Pete, Town Business. Anybody else? Greasy Rock. Just want to give a shout out to the chat. Thank you guys for tuning in. Make sure you hit that like button, subscribe, get the word out, man. We're going to keep bringing on some people down the road. And you know what it's all about, man. It's all about the Raiders. So that being said, going to hit this outro vid, and we'll see you next time. Next Saturday, it'll be 6 p.m. Pacific time. Let's go Raiders.
Go Raiders.
Go Raiders, baby. Y'all have a great weekend, man.
Much respect. Love you guys. Thank you.
Got it, brother. Love you too, man. You guys all have a great weekend. Good times.
Absolutely.
Hell yeah.